From Radio Iowa Sports, this is the Scouting Report, an in-depth look at this week's prep and college games. Now from our studios in Des Moines, Todd Kim.
The Hawkeyes look to bounce back at home against Arkansas State. UNI's on the road to take on Nebraska, while Week 3 of the high school season features a trio of top 5 showdowns. That and more on the Scouting Report.
Okay, men, this is your time. Maybe you didn't choose this, but you're here now. You're gonna go out there and be an all-star caregiver. It's up to you. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna go grocery shopping, cook, clean, be there emotionally and physically. You gotta dig deeper. Drive them to physical therapy, doctor's appointments. Don't you forget about the pharmacy. I know you won't, because that's what caregivers do. Don't give up. Don't ever give up. This is your time to show the world, your family, and yourself that you're tougher than tough. Now go out there and be the best caregiver this world has ever seen. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
The Scouting Report from Radio Iowa Sports.
The Iowa Hawkeyes claim they've moved on from a loss to Iowa State as they get ready to host Troy. It certainly hasn't been easy after a stunning second-half collapse that saw the Cyclones trail 13-0 at halftime and 19-7 in the third quarter. The offense has been sporadic through 2 games, but the run game has showed significant improvement. The Hawkeyes are averaging 222 yards on the ground. The pass game, though, well, that's been a different story. Cade McNamara was just 13 of 29 against ISU for 99 yards and 2 interceptions.
But, if we're going to play the way we want to play, we're going to have to pass the ball more effectively. That certainly was a factor Saturday. And hopefully it's just, something we'll keep getting better at as we move forward. And we've done some good things, done some things that weren't so good. And, it's a little bit of everything, accuracy, route running, things like that, and protection at times. So those are the things that we got to get pieced together, and there's still a lot to work on. There will be all season long.
That's Iowa coach Kirk Ferentz. Former Purdue and Notre Dame assistant Jared Parker is in his first season at Troy after a mass player exodus following an 11-win season and a coaching change. The Trojans are giving up 212 yards on the ground per game in an 0-2 start after losses to Nevada and Memphis. And Parker says improved tackling and being gap sound will be crucial against the Hawkeyes.
In its simplest form, it's one man, one gap on defense. We have to keep gap control and own our gaps by scheme. And then when we get there, we better arrive with the right ball foot and ball shoulder to tackle better and pursue and gang tackle to put ourselves in the best position to handle what will be a wonderful rushing attack in Iowa.
It's a 3 o'clock kickoff in Kinnick Stadium. Fox Sports 1 has the coverage. UNI's 2-0 on the young season and ranked 21st in the FCS coaches poll, heading into tomorrow night's visit to Nebraska. It'll be a homecoming of sorts for several Nebraska natives on the Panther roster.
For these players, these hometown guys, to be able to go back, I'm sure they grew up Cornhuskers, and so I'm sure it's a huge deal for them to go on that football field. So yeah, there'll be a lot of emotion going into this thing, as there is in any kind of game like this for them, is for everybody, because that place is electric.
That's Panther coach Mark Farley. Nebraska's 23rd in the AP poll after a win over Colorado and is 2-0 on the season. After facing 2 spread teams to begin the season, Coach Matt Rule says the Panthers provide a much different challenge.
Well, now you're facing the number 4 rushing offense in FCS. You're facing, 298 yards a game. And you're facing a coach, and Coach Farley, who's won a ton of games. And so you better be ready for a physical battle with the way that they play, run defense and run offense.
It's a 6:30 kickoff in Lincoln. It'll be televised by the Big Ten Network. 4th-ranked Grandview's on the road for an early Heart of America Conference showdown at Benedictine of Kansas. Grandview's favored in the North Division, Benedictine favored in the South.
I mean, they're a really good football team. They've been in the playoffs 2 of the last 3 years, and were a sliver away last year. And quite frankly, we played in the playoffs, had 2 games in the playoffs, and they're right up there with those teams we played. I can promise you that.
Grandview coach Joe Woodley. High school football's next on the Scouting Report.
Okay, gotta be late. Gotta go. Where'd I put... wallet. Check. And, phone. Keys. Check. Lunch. Check.
Checking for the things you need doesn't take long. But what about checking for your safety? Right now, 1 in every 5 vehicles on the road has an open safety recall. But it only takes seconds to check for open recalls on your car at checktoprotect.org. All you need is your vehicle identification number or license plate number. Your automaker may not have the right information to notify you about recalls by mail, especially if you recently moved or drive an older or used car. Checktoprotect.org is the quick, easy way to find out if your vehicle has an open safety recall and find the closest dealer who can make the repair for free.
Oh, laptop. Check.
Before you go, take a minute. Visit checktoprotect.org. Check to Protect is a program of the National Safety Council.
The Scouting Report from Radio Iowa Sports.
2 of the top teams in 8-player District 8 collide tonight as third-ranked Lennox hosts number 2 Bedford. Both teams off to 2-0 starts. Bedford coach Jeremy Nally says it's a big early season test for his team.
We have a lot of kids back from last year's team. This is one of those games that the kids love. They get up for. It's Bedford versus Lennox. It wouldn't matter if one team was 0-8 and the other one was 8-0. Both teams get up for each other.
Lennox co-head coach Cole Bond says it will be an outstanding high school atmosphere.
And all of Taylor County will be there, and I'm sure some of the surrounding counties will be there. It's going to be a unbelievable environment. It's going to be a really good football game with 2 really good teams, and it's always good to have 2 competitive teams in the same county, and it just makes things really interesting, a lot of fun.
Also in 8-player, top-ranked Algona Garrigan's on the road at North Iowa. Number 4 Remsen St. Mary's hosts West Bend Mallard. Class A tonight, the front runner in District 2 will be determined when third-ranked West Hancock hosts number 5 St. Ansgar. Zarin Eggesdahl has a preview.
Yes, it's week 3 of the high school football season, but a district title could be decided in Britt this evening as West Hancock, the defending Class A state champions, take on St. Ansgar, the only team to beat West Hancock last year on this same week 3 1 year ago. Though the Eagles don't feel it as a revenge game rather than expose what they needed to work on.
It's a great measuring stick for where we're at. So, we hang our hat on being physical, and we'll know if we're physical or not, and who the more physical team is. The game we look forward to is a game that we got to compete. We better be ready.
That's West Hancock coach Mark Sanger. St. Ansgar coach Drew Clevenger said they caught West Hancock at the right time last year, and last year proves that no matter who wins this year, there will still be a state championship to play for.
Last year shows that no matter who comes out on top this Friday over in Britt, I think we're two of the top teams in the state. So whoever wins, obviously you feel better about 3-0, but whoever loses at 2-1 still has a lot to play for.
It's Class A, number 3 West Hancock, hosting Class A, number 5 St. Ansgar from Sanger Field in Britt at 7 p.m. this evening. I'm Zarin Eggesdahl for the Radio Iowa Scouting Report.
Also in Class A, top-ranked Woodbury Central hosts Logan Magnolia. It's second-ranked ACGC at Panorama, while fourth-ranked Lisbon is on the road to take on Columbus. Class 1A tonight, it's top-ranked OABCIG at home against 2A, number 3 West Lyon. Second-ranked Grundy Center visits Pella Christian. It's third-ranked Wilton hosting Comanche, while number 4 Emmetsburg is on the road at Sheldon. This season, Bex is recognizing student athletes that are not just a star in athletics, but a player that shows heart in school, at work, through the community, and in the ag industry. For North Iowa's Jamison Kramersmeyer, his first memory on the farm was when his grandfather taught him how to drive a tractor.
It has a hand clutch, so you got to push it forward to make it go forward, and he was letting me do that, and I pushed it forward a little bit too fast, and we popped a wheelie. Morgan
Brown of Benton Community has not grown up on a farm, but her interest in agriculture began when she took a job on a dairy farm through FFA.
And I just asked my advisor if she knew of any farmers that were looking for workers, and she gave me the contact of my current boss now. And then that's how I started working there on the farm. Algona's Ace Studer already has his own goat herd, which not only taught him the value of hard work, but the business side of agriculture.
I learned a lot from the health of goats and stuff. So if they're sick, what shots to give them. I would work with our dad with that. He helped a lot with that, and then just stuff like that. So I just learned what it takes a lot to do for like the production and stuff.
Jace Johnson of Linville Sully has been showing pigs since the age of 6. He's a 3-sport athlete who also worked as a pollinator during the summer and says it taught him the value of dedication.
Let's say, one day I just think, I don't have to do this today. It'll be fine if I don't. And in the long run of showing pigs, or even like being in athletics, you're not going to be able to just gain anything from that if you don't do anything.
Nominate a student athlete by searching Beck's Player with Heart. The rest of Week 3 is next on the Scouting Report.
At Beck's, we stand up for the things that matter most: our faith, our independence, and helping farmers succeed. As the largest family-owned seed company in the U.S., we believe in the integrity of remaining an independent family-owned seed company. Since our founding in 1937, we have continued to produce quality products backed by a quality family of employees and dealers dedicated to serving American farmers. And that's something to be proud of. Beck's, founded in faith, forged in America. For more information, visit beckshybrids.com.
When you think of a healthy relationship, what comes to mind? Is it arguments, secrets, neglecting responsibilities, violence, or stress? These aren't healthy, but can happen with family, friends, and loved ones if alcohol or drug use has taken over their life. If you are experiencing problems in your relationships, take the first step to talk to someone about finding resources or even treatment options. We walk beside you so you are never alone. Call, text, or chat online 24/7 for free at yourlifeiowa.org. A message from Iowa HHS.
The Scouting Report from Radio Iowa Sports.
Class 4A 4th-ranked North Polk is off to a 2-0 start and will be at home tonight against Webster City. Quinn Douglas has a preview.
Webster City and North Polk got together for an instant classic in 2023, which resulted in a 21-20 win for Webster City. 2024 sees both teams with many new faces, but Webster City head coach Andy Brim still has high praise for the Comets.
They're very good, well coached, disciplined, so we're going to have to execute, and I don't want to say that we have to play perfect, but we need to be pretty close to it.
North Polk has been cardiac Comets of sorts after come-from-behind wins over Bondurant Farrar and Carlisle, which head coach Tim Tabrink owes to leadership.
We had a group of kids in the locker room that didn't quit at halftime, and we just kind of chipped away and were able to get a win in overtime. And then different type of feeling, tied at halftime, made some adjustments and got out in the third quarter. Got some points on the board, and then traded some scores in the fourth quarter.
For the Radio Iowa Scouting Report in KQWC, this is Quinn Douglas.
There are 3 rated matchups in 4A. Top-ranked Lewis Central hosts number 10 Adel 8 a.m. It's third-ranked Cedar Rapids Xavier at number 9 Western Dubuque. 8th-ranked Pella hosts number 6 Indianola. Pella coach Jay McKinstry says how their defensive line holds up will be a key. It was a major factor in Indianola's 30-21 win in this game a season ago.
Their offensive line is physical and big. We thought they were really good last year. They may be a little better this year up front. They're incredibly good on both sides of the ball, offense and defense. But and then their running back's very good too, and they got a different quarterback in there that's very talented this year. And they're so physical up front. And they just they manhandled us last year, and we certainly got to work cut out for us this year to try and do something on the line of scrimmage, at least try and hold the line of scrimmage.
3A, top-ranked Clear Lake hosts Iowa Falls Alden. It's number 2 Williamsburg at Clear Creek Amana. Third-ranked Algona hosts Esterville Lincoln Central. 2A, it's a battle of unbeatens as 10th-ranked Cherokee hosts Ridgeview. Caleb Claycamp reports.
I got a chance to speak with head coach Tony Gunter of the Cherokee Braves on tonight's matchup.
We're both run heavy, so neither one of us have been forced to go to the passing game. We've been working hard, making sure we're ready for whatever they do, and we want to be a little more balanced this Friday.
On the opposite sideline will be first-year Ridgeview Raptors head football coach Brian Wilkett and the undefeated 2-0 Ridgeview Raptors.
It's day-to-day and week-to-week. Just trying to get better each and every day and trying to get better each and every week. I know they're 2-0. Got a tremendous football player in Jackson Road, and he's got a number of kids around him that can also play.
Cherokee versus Ridgeview tonight. Only one team will remain undefeated. For your Radio Iowa Scouting Report, I'm Caleb Claycamp.
Also in 2A, top-ranked Van Meter hosts 3A, number 6 Humboldt. It's second-ranked Spirit Lake on the road at Spencer. Fourth-ranked PCM Monroe plays host to 3A, number 8 Nevada. And in Class 5A tonight, it's top-ranked Dowling Catholic at Ankeny. Number 2 Waukee is at home against Sioux City North, while third-ranked Ankeny Centennial is at number 6 Cedar Falls. That's all for the Scouting Report. For Radio Iowa Sports, I'm Todd Keown.
It's Football Friday night, which means it's the Raw Customs and the Homestead Country Store Friday night tailgate show. Sports Director Tyler Lance will talk to the coaches from West Bend Mallard and North Union about tonight's matchups. Here's Tyler with all the details from inside the locker room.
Already week 3 of the high school football season as we begin your Friday night tailgate show on Hometown and Home Country Radio. As always, talking with North Union head coach Matt Ernster and West Bend Mallard head coach Tyson Wirtz. Going to be a little bit warmer around our area this week. Temperatures in the 80s for football Friday night, so probably going to be the warmest game of the season and taking place this week here in week 3. Both the North Union Warriors and West Bend Mallard Wolverines come off of losses in week 2 and try to bounce back here for their week 3 matchups. We'll start off with Coach Ernster after this and follow with Coach Wirtz on your Friday night tailgate show.
Homestead Country Store invites you to stop by their location at 203 South Broadway Avenue in West Bend. Serving lunch from 11 to 2, menus can be seen on their Facebook page. Let's not forget the ice cream. Do you need syrup for your pancakes or waffles? Check out their New York syrup. Homestead Country Store has a wide variety of supplies from King Arthur brand all-purpose and wheat flours to spices and herbs for your baking and canning needs. From our homestead to yours, you'll find what you need at the Homestead Country Store in downtown West Bend.
Getting underway with the Friday Night Tailgate Show here on Hometown Radio KLGA and Home Country Radio KLGZ. As right now, we talk North Union football with head coach Matt Ernster. Coach, as always, thank you so much for the time today.
Yeah, thank you for having me on.
Coach, let's start with last week. Obviously, you played a very good St. Ansgar team, expected to be one of the best teams in Class A, and they kind of came as advertised in that game. So just take me through last week a little bit and some of your big takeaways coming out of week 2 for the Warriors.
Yeah, as we kind of talked about last week, we knew it was going to be a big challenge going on the road, playing a top 5 team. Never easy. Like you said, they came out as advertised. They fired on all cylinders, and we kind of hurt ourselves early. Kind of the same thing we did against Okoboji, getting off to a slow start, putting ourselves into a hole. I thought, maybe score-wise, it doesn't appear that way, but as we went back and looked at film and everything, we liked what we did from week 1 to week 2. We thought we made improvements in the cohesiveness of the offense. We were a little bit more aggressive on defense. We ran into a really good team that night.
Well, Coach, you talk about getting out to a good start as this week you guys take on Belmont Clemmy. What are some of those keys you feel to a good start in tonight's ball game?
Well, I think right away we can't dig ourselves in the holes like we have the past 2 weeks. We got to come out and be the first team firing and be the aggressors, and we got to find a way to kind of break their spirits, if you will. We got to find a way to shut them down and make them one-dimensional. Find ways to limit their run game and try to force them into the air.
Well, Coach, this Belmont Clemmy team, one thing that really jumps out, just really young roster. A lot of sophomores playing some varsity time, a couple of freshmen as well. So maybe a team more on an inexperienced side, especially when you look at their sophomore starting quarterback. So how do you make life kind of uncomfortable for him as you go into tonight's game?
I think it's getting after it on the D-line. I think that's going to be a big thing. When they go into pass situations, we got to be able to put pressure in his face. I think when he runs the ball, which they like to give him the ball in the run game, I think we got to make sure that we're gang tackling and getting guys to the ball. And, I think it's just making sure that he doesn't really have time to sit and think about things. He needs to kind of be pressured and feel that right now, and maybe force him into some things he doesn't want to do.
Talking right now for North Union head coach Matt Ernster here on the Friday Night Tailgate Show. Coach, on the other side of the ball, defensively for Belmont Clemmy, what do you feel they're going to throw at your offense in tonight's game?
I feel like watching the first 2 weeks, they're probably maybe going to look at bringing some of the pressures that Boji and St. Anne's are good, so we've got to be ready to handle that when those things come. Maybe some of the sets that they run, we've got to be able to take advantage of some things on the perimeter. But overall, down to down, they're pretty good. They're just kind of giving up some big plays over the first couple of weeks, but that'll be kind of a goal for us to get some splash plays going. We haven't really gotten a chance to get that happening, and just find ways to attack different parts of the field.
Coach, what do you feel is the key for the offense to execute when a team does bring pressure like you kind of saw the first 2 weeks, and if Belmont Clemmy does that tonight?
I just think it's communication, starting up front, making sure all the guys are on the same page. It's all the way to the backfield, making sure that they're picking up stuff that leaks through, and it's our quarterback, making pretty quick, smart decisions on either getting the ball out or escaping pressure and getting what he can get.
Coach, as we wrap up along those same lines, what do you feel the biggest key for a North Union victory tonight is?
I just think we first home game, homecoming, got a lot of stuff going on, but I think, our energy right from the start is something that we haven't really had
these first 2 weeks and something we got to get back on. So I think the start of the game, that's going to be big for us. If we can get out to a good start and force a 3-and-out or get a score on the first drive, I think we'll be in good shape.
All right, Coach, we appreciate your time today and wish you best of luck in tonight's game.
All right, thank you.
That is North Union head coach Matt Ernster here on your Friday Night Tailgate Show. Right now, we'll take a quick time out on Hometown and Home Country Radio and come back with West Bend Mallard head coach Tyson Wirtz after this.
Raw Customs in West Bend is committed to becoming your go-to shop for any of your vehicle's customization needs. That means offering accessories and services whether you're touring the city or tearing up the trail. You need to be confident that your accessories can keep up. They offer durable, top-of-the-line quality products at affordable prices. Follow them on Facebook or call Raw Customs in West Bend today at 515-887-2800.
The Friday Night Tailgate Show continues right now on Hometown Radio KLGA and Home Country Radio KLGZ as we talk West Bend Mallard football with head coach Tyson Wirtz. Coach, thanks for joining us today on the Tailgate Show.
You bet. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. And let's get into this week as you guys get ready for another big game against Remsen St. Mary's. Obviously, last week wasn't the week the team wanted, but you get back to a new week of preparation here. So how do you feel the guys have kind of responded coming off of what I'm sure they felt was a disappointing Friday night?
Yeah, they responded well. I mean, we've made a lot of adjustments this past week. We didn't reinvent the wheel by any means because we still have our identity and what we want to stay to. We just ran into a really, really good Garrigan team, and so we want to learn from our mistakes and we want to set our goals at being at that level. But also at the same time, you kind of have to put games like that behind you a little bit and try and move on to the next one.
Well, Coach, something we talked about a little bit last season with the same schedule, and something we're going to talk about this year as well, is that early season schedule, obviously not easy as you play last year's state champion Bishop Garrigan. In this game, you play the 2022 state champion Remsen St. Mary's, so a couple big-time tests for the team early in the season. What do you feel the team gets out of playing that hard early schedule that can benefit them going forward?
Yeah, we always hope that iron sharpens iron a little bit. I mean, we intentionally found Newell Fonda and Remsen St. Mary's as non-district games, even though we knew they would be a challenge for us, because we do want to try and be a perennially successful program, and so we try and find other programs that kind of fit that mold, and Remsen St. Mary's is definitely one of them. So it is a rough stretch. I think that Bishop Garrigan and Remsen St. Mary's are probably two of, if not the top two teams in the state, and so to face them back-to-back is tough, but that's really where we are trying to aim. And even if we have a lot of new guys playing this year, we still want that to be our aiming point every year. So it's a challenge for sure, but we think it hardens us up. And then after that, the schedule never gets easy. We got a lot of tough teams in our district, even beyond that. But again, if we can just feel like if we can compete with these teams, then we hope we can compete with the rest of our schedule too.
Well, Coach, talking about that Remsen St. Mary's team that you guys are facing this Friday night, they're a team that's also generally very good up front. With that being said, how do you kind of go about trying to unlock the running game and get that reestablished this week?
Yeah, it's a lot of discipline involved in it, and they graduated a couple of big pieces on their line, but they always seem to reload, and they've got a lot back on the front line and also in skill position. So it's really a big focus of staying on your assignments. With the way that Remsen St. Mary's gives us defensive looks, there's not much double team opportunities, so it's a lot of one-on-one battles. And so that's really what we kind of hit home this week is being able to win those one-on-one battles every single play and make sure we open things up. But we've got a good offensive line, we've got good running backs, and so if we're clicking, I think we can compete for sure, be a dangerous team.
We're talking right now with West Bend Mallard head coach Tyson Wirtz here on the Friday Night Tailgate Show. And, Coach, last week team had to throw the ball probably a couple more times than they wanted to, just of how the game script ended up going, but got to get a look at your new quarterback, Austin Schmidt, and kind of the way that he throws the ball. So we obviously saw him have a great rushing game in week 1 against Newell Fonda, but how would you evaluate where he's at as a passer right now for the first couple weeks of the season?
He's definitely developed. I mean, he's come a long ways. Like you said, it's not necessarily a part of our offense usually, but we've also realized the last couple of years that we do need to open things up a little bit, and we need to have a little bit more than just one dimension if we want to make late pushes into the playoffs. And so, yeah, we've tried to emphasize it a little more in practice this year. Austin's done a really nice job. He's really one of those kind of sponge type players that he just absorbs everything that you tell him, and so he's made good decisions. I think that's been a forte for sure. He's not throwing the ball where he shouldn't. He's not throwing picks. He's knowing when he needs to take off and run. So we like what we've seen from him, but he continues to work hard, and we continue to work that passing game.
And, Coach, on the other side of the football, Remsen St. Mary's is a team that they can definitely air it out a little bit, too. They get some good quarterback play from Landon Waldschmidt, and he's kind of one of those multi-threat quarterbacks who can take off and run as well. So, defensively, what kind of tests do you feel your team is going to be seeing from this Remsen offense tonight?
Yeah, it'll be a combination of everything. I mean, they can run the ball physically when they want to, but they're definitely not afraid to air it out. Coach Osterman has a really nice offensive scheme with Coach Gollies there, and they seem to know how to find gaps in your defensive fronts and how to find the space, and their players are athletic. They're big. Holman kid is going to be bigger than anybody we have for sure. So we just kind of, like we always do, really try and keep everything in front of us. If we're going to get beat, we want it to be small chunks. We don't want to have those big shots down the field, and so that's really our focus, is make them earn it down the field and don't give up big plays.
Coach, along those same lines as we wrap up, what's the biggest thing you need to see from your team in tonight's game?
We need to see a fight and a competitiveness that I think we maybe slipped a little bit last week with. Just a willingness to kind of get after it every single play, even if you didn't succeed on the previous play, we want to get after it again. We want to see guys that are just getting after it, and we've got really hard-working, tough kids. I think we kind of ran into a buzzsaw last week, and hopefully that woke us up. And now this week, that's what we want to see every play. We want to see a team that's fighting all the way until the final whistle to get yards and to get stops on defense.
Well, Coach, we appreciate your time at the Tailgate Show today and wish you best of luck in tonight's game.
Thanks, Tyler. We appreciate it.
That is West Bend Mallard head coach Tyson Wirtz here on your Friday Night Tailgate Show, talking West Bend Mallard Wolverine football as they get set to go up against Remsen St. Mary's. That'll do it for this week's edition of the Tailgate Show. Pre-game coverage of your matchup is coming up next on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
It's time to hit the field. That's it for Raw Customs and the Homestead Country Store Friday Night Tailgate Show.
Get ready for football with the Garrigan Golden Bear pregame show, brought to you by your Edward Jones representative, Bruce Keith, Jerry Sokup, Brady Ross, and Mackenzie Jorgensen. We've got interviews with the coaches, the starting lineups, the Kimna Auto Center keys to the game, the Grassmasters field condition report, Algona Plumbing and Heating's game time temperature, Eyes on Thorrington coin toss, and more as we preview tonight's matchup. The pregame is also brought to you by Kasuth Regional Health Center, your home for healthcare, JDRCs of Wesley, and Van Wert Trucking of Audison. Now here's Tyler Lance on the Golden Bear Edward Jones pregame show.
Welcome on into another Football Friday night here on Home Country Radio, KLGZ, and at the Algona Radio YouTube stream. Tyler Lance alongside Beanie Bodie with you tonight as the Bishop Garrigan Golden Bears hit the road for the first time this season. The 2-0 Golden Bears facing the 0-2 North Iowa Bison. And for the Bison, the schedule doesn't start a whole lot harder than this for any team in the 8-player class. They opened their season of a couple of playoff teams from last year, losing 47-14, that is, against Riceville in Week 2, and then 46-7 against Clarksville in Week 1. Both playoff teams from last year. And tonight, they get the reigning state champion Bishop Garrigan Golden Bears on the road for the first time this season. And boy, what an impressive start to the state title defense for the Golden Bears. They beat St. Ed's in the opening game 48-22, and then a 41-6 shellacking of West Bend Mallard last week, really dominating the rival in the opening game of district play. And Beanie, I'll say this to start the broadcast tonight. We talk a lot about offense in high school football, and rightfully so, especially in the 8-player class, but this Garrigan defense is doing their best imitation of the 85 Bears so far this season.
Yeah, the 85 Golden Bears of Chicago. Well, these modern Golden Bears, they have really figured out this 8-man defense. Coach Patterson has really got those guys prepped for every game. They watch a lot of film. They know what teams are doing, but their most impressive thing is that they're communicating together, and they don't leave any spots open on the field. If the other team tries to run, someone's there. The other team tries to throw, someone's there. They're just smothering this 8-man field, and they do that with a lot of great speed and, of course, hard-hitting defense like we talk about so often.
Well, Bishop Garrigan and North Iowa get set to do battle tonight as the Golden Bears have defeated the Bison all 3 times since the Golden Bears moved down to the 8-player class. They beat the Bison 20-16 in 2021, 32-14 in 2022, and then a 49-13 win last year on their path to a state title. Got to be an interesting night tonight. Going to be a lot warmer than the first couple of games. Certainly some cloud cover will be welcomed here and a little bit of a breeze as well, but field conditions are going to be a little bit warmer than the past couple of weeks and possibly the hottest game of the season. I would expect the temperatures to probably drop pretty quickly once you get into September in October, but we talk so much early in the season about cramping and conditioning and just being ready for the game, and you kind of forget about that as the season goes on, but that's something that's going to come into play tonight, the endurance of both these teams and the ability to withstand the heat.
Oh, for sure. It was a warm day. I just came out of the garden, and I thought it's summertime all over again, but the sun is going down earlier, the lights are going to come on, and there are some clouds over there in the east. Last time we were here, there's some storms out there in the east. Maybe it's a thing when we come to Buffalo Center, Iowa, but this field is a fun place to come to here up in the North Country, and the Bears have been coming here and having great success, and hopefully it continues tonight for the Bears the same, but they will have to be ready to go. I know teams are often caught off guard on these nights. Sometimes they just feel a little bit weird, and you know, maybe the weather's feeling kind of weird because it's hot, Tyler. You never know what's going to come. That's why high school sports is so much fun, because you just never know what's going to happen.
Well, we will see what happens tonight. It's the district opener for the Bison after a couple of non-district games. Golden Bears now 1-0 in district play after beating West Bend Mallard last week. They'll play their second district game and first road game of the season tonight. With that, we'll step aside for a quick timeout. When we come back, we'll check in with the head coaches of tonight's game, Bishop Garrigan head coach Marty Wadley and North Iowa co-head coaches Dan Frericks and Brad Chemnitz. They're coming up on the Edward Jones pregame show.
Don't let concerns about current events derail your long-term financial strategy. I'm Edward Jones financial advisor Brady Ross. We can work together to understand today's financial landscape and make sure you achieve your goals. While you can't control market volatility, you can control your financial future. Let's connect. Contact me, Brady Ross, at 515-295-7763. Together with Bruce Keith, Jerry Sukup, and Mackenzie Jorgensen, we are your local Edward Jones financial advisors. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Vanward Trucking of Ottoson specializes in livestock hauling and flatbed freight hauling. Let them transport your livestock. If it's local hauling or long distance, they will get it there. Contact them at 515-379-2109. Located in Ottoson, Vanward Trucking, livestock and flatbed freight hauling when and where you need it.
Is your student athlete on the injured list? We can help. This is Wendy Wagner, physical therapy assistant at Kasuth Regional Health Center. As a former student athlete and coach, I want to help you get back in the game feeling healthy and injury-free. Our staff works closely with local healthcare providers and specialists throughout the area for a recovery plan that works for you. Best of luck to all our area athletes this season. We will be cheering for you.
Kasuth Regional Health Center, your home for healthcare.
And the pregame show continues right now on Home Country Radio KLGZ as we get ready for high school football action between the Bishop Garrigan Golden Bears and North Iowa Bison. And right now we're joined by Bishop Garrigan head coach Marty Wadley. Coach, as always, thank you so much for your time today on the pregame show.
Thanks a lot, Tyler. Appreciate it.
Coach, let's start off on the defensive side of the ball for you guys. Obviously, a 2-0 start to the season. The starting defense has really only given up one touchdown through those two games, and last week you held the West Bend Mallard team that had been coming off an 86-point game, just 6 points. So what have been a couple of the biggest factors on the defensive side of the ball that's gotten them off to a good start this year?
Well, you know, I think we're playing very, very physical and very aggressive. That's the big thing, and you know, we always try and tell kids that they have to do what their job is and do their job and nothing else. So, you know, I think we're getting better at that, and we want to get better every week. We've got some young guys starting in a couple different spots for sure, and you know, if we can get those older guys to bring those young guys along, that's what we want to have done. But you know, I think our kids have prepared very well. Our coaches have had our kids prepared, and we played very physical, and that's the big thing, and that's what we want to try and do, and that's what we want to do week in and week out, and I think that's been a big key to our success so far.
Well, Coach, one of the position groups on defense where you have kind of a mixture of younger guys and experienced guys is at the linebacker spots. Obviously, they've kind of stood out so far this season. And you look at the linebackers, what are you asking of those guys in your defense, and how do you feel they've delivered up to this point?
Well, you know, I think they've done a very good job. The biggest thing is, you know, no matter what we're seeing or what we're doing, we have to read our keys, and we can't stand there and catch and catch and catch. We've got to attack downhill and play the run, and you know, play the run first and react to the pass, and let the secondary guys worry about the pass. But I think we've done a really good job of that. I thought Ethan's done a very good job, along with Andrew and Madden also. So, and Madden's, you know, just a sophomore, but I think he's gotten better each week, and that's what he has to keep doing and get better at, you know, tackling, at reading, at doing exactly what he's supposed to do. But you know, we're pretty, you know, we're pretty aggressive, and that's, you know, good until it hurts you, and hopefully it's not going to. But I think our defense as a whole, and when we've got a couple of good ends that we're playing, with Keaton and Carter, then that really helps our linebackers to know exactly what they have to do in their job.
Well, Coach, you mentioned Keaton right there, and of course he's been a fixture on both the defensive and offensive lines, and last week had a couple of sacks against the West Bend Mallard team that doesn't really throw the ball a whole lot, and like we said, really big part of the run game offensively. What do you feel separates Keaton from some of the other really good linemen in a player?
Well, he's a little undersized, to tell you the truth. He's not real big, but he's got a motor, and he's running all the time, and his motor's continuously running, whether he's on offense or defense, and he's very aggressive and very physical, and just kind of keeps coming at you and coming at you and coming at you and coming at you. And that's, something we've liked about him since he started playing for us as a sophomore. And that's something that he's really improved on. And now when he's a senior, you hope that, he even gets better at those things. And I think that's, that's what helps him a lot. And he knows what's going on both sides of the ball, and just, to be relentless on both sides, and that's kind of what he is, and he gets after it, and he's very physical, so that's a big attribute to how why he's had success, and why we've been pretty good up front so far.
We're talking right now with Bishop Garrigan head coach Marty Wadley. Coach, the team can use district play this week and looks to start 3-0 as you guys take on the North Iowa Bison. What stands out from the North Iowa film as you've scouted them this week?
Well, they're looking to run the football, and they run some different sets. The Wilkerson kids, obviously, their best rusher. I think he had 140-some yards last week. So he's going to run out of the quarterback position quite a bit, and they try and play that 6-man, 8-man front on you on defense, and go with the forefront and try and gap you, and trying to mix up what they're going to do, and switch over whether they're gapping or playing you head up, or what the responsibility is going to be up front. But that's obviously anytime we see a 4-man front, that can change how we're going to do things as far as scheme goes a little bit, and what we're going to do to adapt to it. So those are things we just have to keep thinking about, and make sure that when we are doing things and we're double teaming and things like that at the offense or up front on the line of scrimmage, then we need to make sure that we're working to the next level, and not just giving things up, or not just false stepping or taking wrong steps when we're using a zone concept or something else.
Well, Coach, as we wrap up, what do you feel some of the biggest keys of the game are for Garrigan to pick up the win and start 3-0?
Well, we need to continue to play good defense, and our kids take a lot of pride in that, and that's something that we're going to have to do. We can't give up big plays, and when we have opportunities to get them 3 and out and that, or put them in third and long situations, we need to try and be able to do that and not let them capitalize on big plays. That's going to be the big factor.
All right, Coach. Well, we appreciate your time today and wish you best of luck in tonight's game.
Thanks a lot, Tyler. Appreciate it.
Bishop Garrigan head coach Marty Wadley here on your Edward Jones pregame show. We'll step aside for a quick timeout. More pregame coverage coming up next on Home Country Radio KLGZ and at the Elgato Radio YouTube channel.
It's true. Many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than preparing for retirement. But if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, I'm Edward Jones financial advisor Bruce Keith. Together we can give you your long-term retirement strategy the attention it deserves. Stop by our office at 100 North Phillips Street. Contact me, Bruce Keith, at 515-295-5173. Together with Jerry Sukup, Mackenzie Jorgensen, and Brady Ross, we're your local Edward Jones financial advisors. Edward Jones, members SIPC.
Let Whipple's hybrids from JDR Seed help you find the cure for the common corn yield by matching you with the hybrids that can increase your whole farm yield. Now's the time to buy to get serious savings on serious seed for next spring. See the results for yourself. Contact Rich Rosemeyer, Dale Lappy, or Mitchell Carroll at JDR Seed of Wesley, 515-341-2452, or visit Whiffles.com. Whiffles Hybrids and JDR Seed, together we bring the yield.
When it comes to your recovery, we tackle issues head-on. Whether you're on the field, setting up a spike, or running the course, Kossuth Regional Health Center's rehab team is here to help when an injury occurs. I'm Bryce Buckle, physical therapist, and as a former student athlete, I know how important it is to get back in the game. At KRHC, our team works with local healthcare providers and specialists throughout the area for a recovery plan that works for you. Best of luck to all of our area athletes this season. We'll be cheering for you.
get ready for high school football action here on Home Country Radio KLGZ as the Bishop Garrigan Golden Bears take on the North Iowa Bison tonight in football action. And right now we're joined by North Iowa head coaches Dan Frericks and Brad Chemnitz. We're going to start things off here with Coach Dan Frericks and talk a little Bison defense. Coach, first of all, thank you so much for joining today on the pregame show and giving us a few minutes of your time.
Thank you. I appreciate being on.
Absolutely, and let's just kind of start off the first couple of weeks. Obviously, some stiff competition for the Bison as you played a couple of playoff teams from last season, so give me a couple of your big takeaways from what you've seen on your defensive side of the ball through the first 2 weeks.
First week, we started off really hard against Clarksville, came out and played really aggressive and did a lot of good things. Made some minor adjustments in the second half of the first game. Came out the second week, didn't get the same firing off, same aggressiveness that I was looking for from the first week. We made some adjustments, obviously, the second week, and they didn't play out as good as I wanted them to, so we literally went back this week and made some more adjustments going into tonight's game.
Well, Coach, week 3 of the season, you guys get district play underway, taking on Bishop Garrigan. What are a couple big things that jump out to you when scouting the tape on the Bishop Garrigan offense?
They like to run the ball. I know they can throw the ball, but they definitely like to run the ball, and I know that's obviously always a concern, so we are going to literally try to stack up the middle and hope they shut down the run in the middle.
And certainly with a team that runs the ball like Garrigan does, it's going to be a big battle in the trenches. So talk to me about the guys that you have up front and who you're kind of expecting to play a big role on the defensive line as you try to slow down Garrigan's run game.
I'm hoping Mr. Cooper, Brody Cooper steps up big time, and Jamison Kramesmeyer in our front, right up on our front on our line. We're still going to be short a player this week, but actually we're short 2 players on our defensive line this week, so that's going to take, obviously, a big effect into how we attack the game Friday night. So those 2 are definitely going to play a huge factor, and our middle linebacker is going to have to step up and fill pretty hard. So we've literally been talking about that all week.
Looking at the team last year, obviously it was a pretty senior-heavy defense. You've kind of transitioned a lot of younger players into the starting lineup, maybe some guys who hadn't played a ton of varsity snaps in the past. So I guess how do you evaluate the way that's kind of coming together and just 8 guys learning to play together as a defense?
Oh, it's come together quite well. Surprisingly, we got a really good, strong core sophomore class that has played together for quite a while, obviously, and there's quite a few of them. And there's obviously quite a few of them that are going to be playing Friday night here. So they really know how to play together the way it is. The biggest thing is literally working out the wrinkles and cutting down on the mistakes.
Well, Coach, along those same lines as we wrap up for you here, what do you see as the biggest defensive key for North Iowa in this ball game?
Stopping the run.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, we'll switch things over here to Coach Chemnitz and talk some offense, but thank you so much for joining us on the pregame show today.
Thank you.
All right, we're talking right now from North Iowa co-head coach Brad Chemnitz, talking about the offensive side of the ball for the Bison. Coach, I'll start you off the same way we started off with Coach Frericks. Obviously, 2 weeks into the season here, you guys saw a couple of playoff teams from last year in the first 2 weeks, that non-district's part of the schedule. So give me a few of your big takeaways on the offensive side of the ball from what you've seen from your guys through those first 2 games.
Our biggest thing is, we're a young team, and we're just trying to figure out. We got a lot of guys that usually don't play line that are playing line, so they're figuring that out, and they're doing really well. I try to make it simple for them this year, how they're going to block and what they're going to do and how they're going to do it, and just try to make it simple and so they can just play fast and hard.
Well, Coach, new starting quarterback this year, senior Max Wilkerson, has stepped into the starting lineup, and that's really the thing that jumps out on any offense whenever you're replacing a quarterback year to year. So how do you evaluate the way that Max has taken this job and progressed through the first couple weeks of the season?
Yeah, he moved in here, this summer, and he's stepped in very well. We got kind of a two quarterback system. Talon's good too, and they both love to run the ball and throw the ball, and they both really step up. Max is more that power runner, quick and can make some moves on the defense. Talon, he's got that jukiness, the speed, and same thing. He can throw the ball, so it's nice to have 2 kids that can play QB.
Well, Coach, looking at the tape of the Garrigan defense, what's a couple things that stand out to you that Garrigan does defensively?
The biggest thing is, the D-line. That's the big thing, every week is how you're going to handle the guys up front and how you're going to get them moved and which way you're going to try to push them and get to the backers. Their backers are good, too. They fill and then, clog up them holes. So definitely going to have some, got to get them moving one way or the other to try to open up our offense.
Coach, along those same lines, as we wrap up, what do you see as the biggest key for North Iowa offensively in tonight's game?
Just like every game, it starts up front with the big boys. They got to get off the ball and get a good push and get to their next level and open up the holes for our running backs and pass protect too on our passes is our huge success is just being up front.
Well, Coach, we appreciate your time on the pregame show today, and best of luck in tonight's game.
Yes, thank you.
That was North Iowa co-head coach Brad Chemnitz talking about the offensive side of the ball for the Bison. Again, big thank you to co-head coaches Dan Frericks and Brad Chemnitz giving us a few minutes here on the pregame show today to talk North Iowa Bison football. Right now, we'll step aside for a quick timeout. More of your Edward Jones pregame show coming up next on Home Country Radio KLGZ and the Algona Radio YouTube stream.
Don't let concerns about shifts in the market disrupt your long-term financial goals. Hi, I'm Edward Jones financial advisor Jerry Sokup. Let's work together on an investment strategy for long-term results. While you can't control market volatility, you can control your financial future. Start by giving me a call at 515-295-7766. Along with Bruce Keith, Brady Ross, and Mackenzie Jorgensen, together we are your local Edward Jones financial advisors. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Vanward Trucking of Odison specializes in livestock hauling and flatbed freight hauling. Let them transport your livestock. If it's local hauling or long distance, they will get it there. Contact them at 515-379-2109. Located in Odison, Vanward Trucking, livestock and flatbed freight hauling when and where you need it.
Let Whipple's hybrids from JDR Seed help you find the cure for the common corn yield by matching you with the hybrids that can increase your whole farm yield. Now is the time to buy to get serious savings on serious seed for next spring. See the results for yourself. Contact Rich Rosemeyer, Dale Lappy, or Mitchell Carroll at JDR Seed of Wesley, 515-341-2452, or visit Whiffles.com. Whiffles hybrids and JDR Seed, together we bring the yield.
Continuing on with pregame coverage here on Hometown Radio make that Home Country Radio KLGZ and at the Algona Radio YouTube stream. Right now, we're going to take a quick look at the starting lineups for both teams, and then after that, we'll get to the Chemnitz keys to the game. But first, the starting lineups for tonight. Starting off the North Iowa Bison offense on the lineup front, they will have the junior Brody Cooper, the senior Jameson Kramersmeyer, and the sophomore Kayla Lorenzen. Also, we'll see a little bit of Walker Johnson on the front line as well for the Bison. The quarterback tonight, Max Wilkerson, a senior for North Iowa, the new starting quarterback this year. Starting running back is Talon Jacobson, and out wide, they're going to mix between Noah Hansen, a senior, Kevin Hagan, a sophomore, and Andrew Hoffman, another sophomore. Bishop Garrigan, very similar lineup defensively to what we've seen on the front line. Keaton Helseth and Carter Schwab, a senior and junior respectively, will be at that end positions, and Carter McGregor will be at the nose tackle, a Bishop Garrigan junior. At the linebacker spots, Andrew Lichter, Ethan Marceau, and Mad Miller once again, senior, junior, sophomore. They've been incredibly solid so far this season for the Golden Bears. Then in the secondary, Michael Joyce and Owen Murphy will do a lot of that heavy lifting for the Golden Bears, as Joyce has a couple interceptions so far in the season, leading the way for Bishop Garrigan. Switching things over to the Golden Bear offense and the North Iowa Bison defense, Golden Bears are going to have Carter Schwab and Keaton Helseth at the guard positions and Caden Graves at center. Tight end is Wyatt Rosenmeyer. Out wide, you're going to have Michael Joyce. Quarterback, the junior Tate Furch. Running backs, Trayton Sink, and Ethan Marceau is the fullback for Bishop Garrigan. For the North Iowa defense, up front, they like to play 4 linemen at times, 3 or 4 linemen on a lot of plays, but the linemen you're going to see are Brody Cooper, a junior, Jameson Kramersmeyer, a senior, Kayla Lorenzen, a sophomore, and Kevin Hagan, a sophomore. Linebacker position for North Iowa includes Talon Jacobson, a sophomore, Max Wilkerson, a senior, Andrew Hoffman, a sophomore, and Braden Gray, another sophomore. So that is a quick run-through of the starting lineups. The 2-0 Bishop Garrigan Golden Bears taking on the 0-2 North Iowa Bison coming up in about 10 minutes. Right now, we'll take a quick timeout. After this, it'll be the Chemnitz keys to the game here on Home Country Radio, KLGZ.
Market declines, unemployment, today's headlines can be scary. Hi, I'm Edward Jones, financial advisor, Mackenzie Jorgensen. I'll work with you to help you understand the impact of short-term events and how to prepare for the long term. We provide the tools for a reasoned, disciplined approach to investing. Don't let headlines derail your long-term financial strategy. Contact me, Mackenzie Jorgensen, at 515-395-4021, along with Bruce Keith, Jerry Sokup, and Brady Ross. We are your local Edward Jones financial advisors. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
At Chemnitz Auto Center, they understand that you have no shortage of options when it comes to purchasing or servicing your car. They're your hometown dealer for new GM, Ford, and Chrysler makes and models. Plus, they also offer an extensive selection of pre-owned vehicles. Serving you with a dedicated sales and finance team, along with world-class service technicians that are passionate about keeping your ride in top shape. Visit their showrooms today for an experience you deserve. Chemnitz Auto Center in Algona.
Just under 9 minutes away from kickoff between the Bishop Garrigan Golden Bears and the North Iowa Bison. Your Edward Jones pregame show brought to you by Algona representatives Bruce Keefe, Mackenzie Jorgensen, Jerry Sukup, and Brady Ross. Right now, it's your Chemna Auto Center keys to the game. Chemna Auto Center, where it's not just about the car, it's about the care. Well, Beanie, your biggest key tonight for Bishop Garrigan to start 3-0.
Well, I'm not going to beat around the bush. I think Garrigan is in a mismatch here, and when you're in a mismatch, sometimes you lose focus. And when you lose focus, that mismatch can go the way you don't want it to go. So they have to maintain focus right from the very beginning all the way through the end of this scoreboard.
Well, that's a good key to the game for the Bishop Garrigan Golden Bears. And on the North Iowa Bison side of things, I'll say the key to the game is going to be limiting Garrigan big plays. If you look at the first couple of games for the Bison, they've actually had a substantial advantage in total number of offensive plays run compared to their opponents. But defensively, they've been killed by a ton of big plays allowed this year. So you've got to force Garrigan to kind of nickel and dime their way down the field. And, of course, Coach Wadley is familiar with a long time of possession and offense that is able to control the ball. So that is sort of to Garrigan's strength. But I think if you're North Iowa, you still are okay if Garrigan playing that way. You just don't want to give up those big 20, 30, 40-yard chunks against Bishop Garrigan.
You know, it's funny that's your key to the game, Tyler, because I think Bishop Garrigan is going to try to hit some big plays tonight. Typically, they want to just grind and pound that ball down the field and use their power running game, but I think tonight they're going to try a couple big plays, so that's an interesting key to the game. We'll see if it works out.
Yeah, Bishop Garrigan really hasn't had to throw the ball a whole lot this season. They beat St. Edmund 48-22 and West Bend Mallard 41-6, and really spent most of both of those games leading. In fact, never trailed against West Bend Mallard. So it's been a lot of the power run game for the Golden Bears, who are averaging 256 rushing yards per game and 6 yards a pop. But we could see a couple big passing plays in the playbook for Coach Wadley and at Crew tonight. That's a look at your keys to the game, brought to you by Chemna Auto Center.
At Grassmasters, we believe the secret to a successful season is hard work and dedication, the same qualities that make up a winning team. Preparation, perseverance, and teamwork have enabled us to rise above the competition and bring you a championship team. So as this year kicks off, we at Grassmasters would like to wish all of the local athletes the very best and a successful season on and off the field. Grassmasters, growing satisfied customers.
Players, put your pinky rings up to the moon. Girls, what y'all trying to do? 24 karat magic.
All right, had to find a couple notes there of the national anthem before we get to your Grassmasters field condition report. Grassmasters, the area's premier lawn care and tree care provider. Well, early in the season, all fields are going to be in pretty good shape. I will say, though, Beanie, this field does look a little bit more dry than Bishop Garrigan's field. Grass may be a little bit more bristly. Obviously, not a ton of rain as of late, but I do think this field's going to be a little bit harder than the field Garrigan's used to playing on.
Yeah, this could use a nice, good soak on this field, and it looks well. Looks like a fast surface, and you know that is going to be, I think, another key. I saw Wilkerson throwing some really nice balls in warm-ups. You don't want to judge a book by its cover, but this North Iowa team looks like they can throw the long ball really accurately, and you can get some speed out there on a surface like this. But yeah, nice field. Tyler, those yard lines are nice and bright. You're going to have no problem calling the yard lines tonight until the sun goes down and the lights go on. But yeah, a fast surface on the field report.
Yes, that's your Grassmasters field condition report. And Beanie, you bring up a good point about the Bison hitting some big plays. That has kind of been their MO on offense. We've seen Bison teams in the past have some good speed out wide. And even last year in that 49-13 loss to Garrigan, their success did come when they were able to hit a couple of big plays against the Golden Bears. So I do think the Bison are a team that may try to push the ball down the field a little bit. We talked about North Iowa limiting the Garrigan big plays, but you could reverse that around as well. Garrigan doesn't like to give up the big play, and they know that North Iowa is going to take a couple of home run shots tonight.
They are going to take some home run shots, and they'll probably do that when they're going towards the north. This is a field that sits north-south, and there's a wind coming out of the south. Not a huge wind, but enough to really give that ball a little extra lift, especially in the heat. So you'll be able to throw the long ball when you're heading north. So this coin toss that is coming up, there'll be some strategy in that, depending on if a team wants the wind right off the bat, try to put some scores up early using the pass.
Well, that is going to put our Edward Jones pregame show in the books here on Home Country Radio KLGZ. Kickoff of Bishop Garrigan in North Iowa coming up in just under 4 minutes on Home Country Radio and at the Algona Radio YouTube channel.
With fall starting, so is seasonal allergies. This is Dr. John C. Kortenberg at Eyes on Thornton.
Do your eyes itch? Are they irritated or watering? If you answered yes to any of those questions, you may benefit from a prescription for your ocular allergies. Why not feel better today? Call to schedule an appointment at Eyes on Thornton at 395-EYES. That's 395-3937.
Living in Iowa sure means we rely on our furnaces and air conditioners to keep us comfortable all year round. That's why Algona Plumbing and Heating is proud to be your local trusted Armstrong dealer. They're committed to bringing you the highest quality products in heating and cooling, and it doesn't get any better than Armstrong furnaces and air conditioners. For all your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs, give them a call at 295-5240 or stop by their Dodge Street location. Live comfortably with Algona Plumbing and Heating.
Home Country Radio presents Golden Bear Football, brought to you by Iowa State Bank, Northwest Iowa Bone, Joint, and Sports Surgeons, Security State Bank, and the many hometown and home country sports club members you'll hear from throughout the game. Now we go live to Home Country Radio Sports Director Tyler Lance with the call.
Gearing up for football action tonight between the number 1 ranked Bishop Garrigan Golden Bears, as the Golden Bears have won 14 games in a row dating back to last year, and they look for number 15 tonight against the North Iowa Bison, off to an 0-2 start. But like we said earlier, playing a tough early season schedule with Riceville and Clarksville in the first 2 weeks. Their non-district games, both playoff teams from last year. As the coin toss just wrapped up, the Eyes on Forrington coin toss saw North Iowa win the toss, and they've elected to receive. So Beanie, the Bison, they want to go down there, they want to score early and try to make a statement against the defending champs.
Yes, they do. Get that ball, put a score on the board. That gets in the head of the opponent. Garrigan will have the wind when they get their chance at the football here. And captains going out tonight: Nick Toole, Keaton Helliseth, Trayton Sink. A lot of seniors on that Bear team, all taking a turn, it looks like, being captain. And we did not mention senior Nick Lear. He is out with an injury. If you're waiting for us to call Nick Lear's name, he hurt his ankle yesterday in practice. And no real information on that, but he's on crutches down there on the sidelines.
So he will not play tonight, but a lot of depth for the Golden Bears as they're able to really have a next man up type of mentality. Well, the game time temperature tonight, 73 degrees here in Buffalo Center, Iowa, according to my phone. It feels a little warmer than that, I will say, but it's breezy tonight, so you mentioned that in the pregame as well as part of our Algona Plumbing and Heating game time temperature. Again, 73 degrees. Bishop Garrigan will kick from right to left on the radio dial. The Golden Bears wearing the black pants tonight, the white jersey tops with black shoulders, black numerals on the front and back, the black helmet with the gold BG on both sides. North Iowa has the white uniform pants, the blue jersey tops with the white numerals on the front and back, and the white trim on the shoulders. They have a silver helmet with a white NI, the I going straight down the middle of the N. Brady Galligan is the kicker for Bishop Garrigan, the junior wearing number 27, as he's been perfect on PATs so far this year and has provided a good kickoff specialist as well for this Bishop Garrigan team. And Beanie, we have seen the Golden Bears struggle a little bit at times to cover kicks. St. Edmund ran a kickoff back for a touchdown against them in the season opener, so we'll be watching for this tonight as Max Wilkerson and Talon Jacobson are back deep for North Iowa.
Yeah, I would say that the special teams coaches for Bishop Garrigan would say their team is 0-2 on opening kickoffs to their first 2 games. First kickoff of the season gets returned for a touchdown. The first kickoff last week against West Bend was nearly returned for a touchdown. And they do not want to start this game at North Iowa the same way. And that could be why North Iowa wants the ball. He's like, hey, this team gives up big kick returns on their first kick. Let's take the ball and take our chances. The referees get the clock set to go. A lot of spirited crowd down there. A lot of Bison faithful wearing some fun blue and white overalls. The band is dressed like minions. That's a lot of fun. Always a good night for high school football, Tyler. Boy, I don't know what I would do on Friday nights if we didn't have football.
We'd be very bored, that's for sure, as Galligan approaches the football and he kicks it away. We are underway in Buffalo Center. The kick goes back to Jacobson near the goal line. Returns it out towards the 15, bouncing out towards the 20, but he's tackled before he can get there. Rosenmeyer flying down the field to make the stop, and North Iowa will start at the 18-yard line.
Well, that was Kyle Borman, actually. You saw 3, I saw 2. Kyle Borman staying in his lane, keeping low, and then he really accelerated towards the ball carrier. Kyle Borman has got a real good speed, good acceleration. Special teams is a great time to show what you can do, and a much better start to the game than the previous.
Yes, that was Kyle Borman. I beg your pardon on that one, but the Golden Bears will take the stop either way. In the shotgun, by himself in the backfield is Wilkerson. Here's motion by Jacobson as he will loop around Wilkerson. He'll take the toss, and Jacobson's going to throw it. He's going to pull it down, though, and now we're scrambled to the right. He's being pressured by Marceau, and he's taken down for a sack. A high V sack on the first play of the game, and they sacked the running back that time on a little trickeration.
Yeah, well, hey, good idea. You're probably outmatched by the #1 team in the state. Let's start off with a trick play. Let's try to catch him off guard, score right off the bat. But it doesn't work. Ethan Marceau sniffs out and gets a sack. But what happened, Andrew Lichter, another senior captain tonight, he is going to shadow that receiver in motion. So Bears are going to, they've seen that play on the film, I bet, and they're going to go one-on-one on that.
That is a 3-yard loss, and also a $25 food donation to the Cassuth County Food Pantry for the high V sack. It's going to be student body to the left, trying to squeeze through as Wilkerson. Flag comes flying in as Wilkerson gets out past the initial line of scrimmage to the 21-yard line, but flag right at the line of scrimmage in that big pack of players.
Andrew Lichter makes the tackle, and he that Wilkerson, good acceleration through the hole. He almost got through that gap and into the open territory.
Unfortunately for the Bison, though, they are called for an illegal shift, so back them up, and North Iowa going the wrong direction. This drive started at the 17. They're now back at the 10.
That was a good call by the officials. I saw a movement, and I thought someone was in motion, but it was actually an illegal shift in the backfield.
And now Jacobson's going to line up at the quarterback. We'll see snaps from both Wilkerson and Jacobson in the quarterback spot as Jacobson takes a snap. It's a little low. He runs to the right. Hellesteff trying to set the edge, and he drags him down. Keaton Hellesteff makes the tackle inside the 10-yard line as he shed the block and forces a 2-yard loss.
Oh, yeah. Poor Cale Lorenzen for North Iowa is out there. He's just a sophomore, 5'5", 175, and he's trying to block an experienced senior in Keaton Hellesteff. Trying his best, but Keaton Hellesteff just shucks the blocker to the side and makes the tackle.
3rd and a mile for the Bison. 3rd down and 18. They've tried to throw a couple of different looks at the Golden Bears so far in the running game, but thus far they have gone backwards. 1 minute into this first quarter. Couple wide receivers split out to the right side, number 1 and number 7, looking very similar on the jerseys with Hoffman and Gray. In the shotgun, it's Wilkerson. He takes the snap. Golden Bears rush free. Wilkerson in trouble as he escapes Miller. He's running to the right side. He got crushed by Marceau, and the ball pops free inside the 10-yard line. And Garrigan picks it up. It's a turnover inside the 10 for North Iowa. It was a helmet on the football, and the Golden Bears forced the early turnover.
Oh, worst case scenario for North Iowa. They were just hoping they were trying to maintain possession there, Tyler. The last thing they wanted was a fumble. At least wanted to get a chance to go it down and then punt the ball away and flip the field and maybe get some field position. But now the Bears, with that fumble, don't even have to return that punt and get it right on the doorstep.
Bishop Garrigan inside the Red Power red zone. Your Red Power team in Bancroft, Corwith, West Bend, and Humboldt. Furch in the I formation, turns and gives the sink. Running right side, driving the legs, pushing towards the goal line, and he's inside the 5-yard line. Sink down to the 3 on a powerful first down run.
Good initial hit in the backfield by sophomore Cale Lorenzen for North Iowa, but his arms were run through by Trayton Sink. As we've seen, he keeps those legs going when he gets hit at the line of scrimmage, and he just powers through for a few more. And the Bison got to get that gang tackling if they're going to stop the Bears.
Trayton Sink is averaging 8 yards a pop so far this season in the power run game. Golden Bears bring in the extra offensive lineman, Nate Learer. So they will go big here. A couple tight ends out to the right side as well. Rosenmeyer's a tight end. Marceau also lined up to the right side with Sink alone in the backfield. Here's Furch. He will hand off to Sink. He stretches to the outside. Sink finds the edge, and he's in for a touchdown. 2 plays in. Bishop Garrigan takes a 6-0 lead as it's Trayton Sink and then Trayton Sink again.
Boy, Trayton Sink will be thanking those linemen. Ethan Marceau was out there at a tight end spot. They just sealed that edge. None of the Bison defenders could possibly get around that good blocking on the right side of the Garrigan line.
So 6-0 Bishop Garrigan, and Galligan will now try to add the PAT. Sink is the holder. Golden Bears will bring the swinging gate in. Just lining up to see how North Iowa responds to that formation. 10:04 on the clock here in quarter number 1. And Trayton Sink with his 6th rushing touchdown of the season. Now Sink takes the snap, puts the ball down, had a little trouble there. Galligan line drives it, and he missed it. Little trouble on the snap that time of Sink getting a good exchange and spinning the ball and putting the laces the right way. So extra point is no good. Score stays 6-0 on KLGZ Home Country Radio.
Thank you to these sports club members bringing you this game on Hometown Home Country Radio.
CB Grain Solutions, satisfaction guaranteed.
Dump It, Cassuth County's local and reliable waste service provider for commercial and residential customers.
Albert Electric, flip the switch to Albert Electric.
Billy Offerman, your State Farm agent in Algona. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Greg Penning and Company, certified public accountants where everyone counts.
Daylight Donuts, open early with delicious donuts and great coffee.
All bringing you this game on the radio.
As we come back here on Home Country Radio, Brady Garrigan kicking it away. Bishop Garrigan leading 6-0 as Garrigan slipped on the kickoff, but he still got a booming kick down the field into the end zone as it was out of the reach of Talon Jacobson. Garrigan fell on his backside there after releasing the kick, Beanie, but he got it away still all the way to the goal line.
He might have been a little fired up after he missed that PAT, and he wanted to really show off his leg on the kick. But, boy, yeah, that was a great kick. Had the wind behind him. Good touchback. And, you know, when I see a kick like that, I immediately quit watching the ball and I start watching the players. And some big hits as those Golden Bears are going down the field.
So North Iowa's first drive went the wrong direction, and now Wilkerson, the senior, back in the shotgun. He's by himself in the backfield. He's going to run to the right. The Golden Bear linebackers fill the hole, and they drill him in the backfield. Madden Miller came flying in, and he was part of the stop, but white jersey surrounding the senior quarterback.
Boy, Madden Miller just filled that gap. Good job for that young linebacker. Ball carrier is coming right at him, and he was waiting to give him a big bear hug. And then Marceau, who was getting blocked, fought through the blocks and got the first initial hit. And it's tough to run to that side with Marceau and Miller.
Those linebackers are extremely active for Bishop Garrigan. And now it'll be Jacobson lining up as the quarterback on this play. Jacobson, 95 yards rushing coming into the game. He throws out to the left, has the completion to Andrew Hoffman. Hoffman is bottled up, though, and he is shy of the initial line of scrimmage. Lost about half a yard there, and it's about 3rd and 12.
The Bears are really using Madden Miller, that outside linebacker, and Andrew Lichter on the other side. They're blitzing those guys more than usual. They're trying to put some pressure on that Bison backfield right away.
So 3rd down and 12 for North Iowa. Both drives North Iowa has gotten behind the sticks and forced into a 3rd and long situation against Bishop Garrigan. We've seen in the passing downs, they've tried to either run off the quarterback or just get the ball out quickly to avoid a fearsome pass rush by the Golden Bears. They'll spread out a couple receivers to the right. They've got a wing back on the right side. As in the gun, it's Wilkerson. Wilkerson getting pressured by Helseth. He steps up and he escapes. He scrambles out to the right side. And a great tackle by Andrew Lichter, holding on by the ankles. Otherwise, Wilkerson turns it up and gets the first down, but Lichter made a great stop, and it's 4th and about 7.
Well, nice takedown by Lichter. He's a wrestler. You can see it on that move. He ankle picked from behind, and he held on for dear life. That looked like Wilkerson might break that for the first down. But Lichter, with a savvy move, prevents a first down. No first downs for the opponents yet.
And that was a good job by Wilkerson climbing the pocket because Garrigan's pass rush was getting to him, and the pass rush almost got a little bit too far upfield that time and let Wilkerson escape, but Lichter fills the gap. Here is Cale Lorenzen to punt. Lorenzen with a booming punt near side of the field. Murphy chasing it towards the sideline. He bobbles it, and it's out of bounds. A nice punt that time will have the Golden Bears back to the 26-yard line. They kept it to the sideline and forced Murphy to try to make a running grab.
Well, he was running full speed to go catch that. Had he been able to catch it and slam on the brakes, he probably would have picked up 10 yards down the sideline before he got knocked out. But if you're going to not catch the punt, that's the best place to not catch the punt, right on the sideline, and it just goes out of bounds. Bears will take over.
Golden Bears will set up at the 26-yard line. This Bishop Garrigan offense averaging 44.5 points per game through the first 2 games of the season. Bisons defensively are allowing 46.5 as they gave 47 to Riceville in week 2 and 46 to Clarksville in week 1.
So here's something we haven't seen as much. 3 wide receivers, no tight end. It looks like a passing situation.
Furch is in the shotgun. He's back to throw. North Iowa rushes 4. Quick hitter to the left to Joyce, and he makes the grab. Joyce will gain about 6 yards on that play, and just a nice pitch and catch as Joyce has a 2nd reception of the year.
Yeah, when we arrived, Tyler, we saw them working on that pattern over and over again in their warm-ups. And you think, well, you know, Tate really throws that ball right on the money time after time after time. I hope we get to see him throw the ball tonight, and right off the bat, we do.
Make it 2nd down and 3 from the 33-yard line. 7:35 and taking, and the Golden Bears spread it out again. 2 receivers to the short side of the field. Jet motion by Sink, and they'll give it to him as he's running right. Sink bending it to the outside, has the first down, and down the sideline he goes. 35-30 and forced out of bounds along the sideline by North Iowa and Walker Johnson, but Trayton Sink picks up the first down.
Oh, smart blocking on the edge by Keaton Helleseth and Ethan Marceau. I don't know how they're communicating over there, but they clearly have the experience of playing with each other, and they really stretch that out, and they just communicate who's blocking who, and Trayton Sink did the rest, went right around their good blocks.
Joyce, Murphy, and Sink all go out to the left, and once again, Tate Furch in the shotgun as he's back to throw on first down. It's a 3-man rush, looking down the field, taking a deep shot for Murphy, right side, reaches up, makes the grab, and goes into the end zone for a touchdown. Oh, and Murphy got past Andrew Hoffman, and the Golden Bears connect for 6.
Oh, Murphy's got great speed. He ran a good pattern. He left his defender in the dust, and all Tate Furch had to do was put the pass on the money, and boy, he did that. Owen Murphy caught it in stride, step for step. Nice touchdown. Quick striking for the Bears. I thought they might pass the ball. That's Furch's 2 for 2. already has a score.
That is Furch's second touchdown pass of the season. He'd only attempted 23 passes through the first couple of games as Garrigan had gotten into a lot of running situations. Now they'll try to get a 2-point conversion here after the missed PAT earlier. Murphy, the lone receiver, out to the left. A couple backs standing behind Furch. They fake the pitch to Sink. They give to Marceau. Drives through the middle and scores. A 2-point conversion, and Bishop Garrigan now up 14-0. Beanie, that was a nice design on that 2-point conversion play.
I love that play. Tate does such a nice fake pitch, but then it hands off to Marceau, who's got great power up the middle. Brody Cooper, a junior for North Iowa, sniffed it out and had him at about a yard to go, but Marceau's going to win that battle most of the time and drags the Bison into the end zone.
So Bishop Garrigan takes the 14-0 lead on the Owen Murphy 33-yard touchdown catch. And Beanie, your prediction in the game was really a crystal ball type of prediction. Golden Bears have been lining up almost exclusively in shotgun. They finally took a deep shot there, and the speed of Owen Murphy just stretching out the defense.
Boy, Owen had one of the most electric plays earlier in the season when he was on defense, and he nearly came out of nowhere and ran down an open ball carrier. We know Owen's got speed on the track. He's got it on the football field. There's so many playmakers from this Bishop Garrigan offense. It's almost going to be tough to spread it all around all season. But you've seen Joyce make a catch, Murphy make a catch, Sink carry, and Marceau carry.
Here's the kickoff by Galligan towards the left side, and it will sail over the head of Wilkerson and into the end zone. So Galligan keeps it away from the dangerous North Iowa returners, and the Bison will come out to the 15-yard line.
You know, as you watch these football games in small schools in Iowa, whether it be 8-player A or 1A, and you see these teams, you can always tell on special teams when it comes down to who's going out for football, because that's your chance to get everyone in the game. And the North Iowa coaches, they get their underclassmen in there on the special teams, and the Garrigan underclassmen, just bigger, more of them. We even have seniors on special teams. That's a numbers advantage for Garrigan.
Well, now can North Iowa get going in the right direction? They have lost yardage so far in their first two offensive possessions. Here's Wilkerson on the quarterback draw. He runs into a wall in the middle, and Marceau wraps him up and brings him down. Wilkerson gains about 1 yard, but not a lot you can do in the middle of that Garrigan defense.
No, they're very stout in the middle. They've been rotating players throughout the season so far. Right now it's Rosemeyer is the nose guard, Schwab on his right, Heliseth on his left. But the coaches will mix players throughout the night. We'll try to keep you posted on who's in there. Right now, Rosemeyer's at nose guard. We've seen Carter McGregor there. We've seen Matt Besch there.
This time it's Jacobson taking the direct snap. Jacobson falls forward and again back to about the line of scrimmage, maybe gained half a yard, but that middle just so clogged up. The center for North Iowa is Jamison Kramersmeyer at 215 pounds, but besides that, you don't have anyone else that's super big on that O-line, so Garrigan can generate a push up front.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure Coach Patterson, the defensive coordinator, did not call a blitz there, but Ethan Marceau just sniffed that play out, and he just appointed himself, I'm going in the backfield, and he hit that A-gap immediately and blew that play up. Just good intuition by Marceau. He's one of those guys that doesn't matter size, height, all that stuff. He's just got a nose for football. He knows how to play the game.
3rd down and 8 from the 17-yard line. North Iowa needs the 25. 6 minutes on the clock here in quarter number 1. In the shotgun, it's Wilkerson. Looks left quickly, pulls it down now, scrambles to the right. Here comes Heliseth. Heliseth drills him, and he spins him down as Marceau helps out to finish the tackle. It's another high V sack. That will drop them all the way back to the 10-yard line. And for the 3rd drive in a row, North Iowa goes in the wrong direction.
Good swarming defense by Bears. Keaton Heliseth. Such a great left end. Ethan Marceau was playing right end that time. He's moving from linebacker to right end. It's hard to keep track of where he is. He came all the way across the formation to get on that tackle. Good player for the young guys to watch.
Keaton Heliseth have a couple of sacks tonight. He has 5 on the season as the punt is unloaded near side of the field. Murphy makes the catch. He circles back. He's going to the 30-yard line. Now he reverses field, and then he's tackled by Andrew Hoffman. Owen Murphy ran to the right. He ran to the left, and Hoffman never let him get away.
Well, hats off to Andrew Hoffman there. Carter Woobin was there as right away, and Murphy ran right away from him, but he had to go backwards. And then Hoffman on the scene was able to corral him and hog tie him down to the ground. You heard a good cheer from the North Iowa Bison crowd. That was a good open field tackle by the young Hoffman.
You can tell Murphy was thinking huge play, kickoff return for 6 on that one, or I should say punt return for 6, but well contained by North Iowa.
Yeah, and I think he wanted to do something, but that's a good punt by North Iowa. They pinned Murphy right on the sidelines. I don't know if that was by design or luck, but great job by the North Iowa punter.
They've done that twice so far tonight as Garrigan pitches right side to Sink. Sink trying to accelerate. Sink bursts across midfield, leaps over defender, gets past the 30-yard line, and he's deep into North Iowa territory, down to the 29 as Sink, not hesitating that time, getting north and south.
There's Andrew Hoffman again, bringing him down. That's 2 tackles in a row for that sophomore. But Sink just showing some speed in the open field. We have seen Sink shake players. We've seen him keep his balance while he's getting hit inside the line of scrimmage. That time he just turned on the Jets and tried to outrace the defense.
Andrew Hoffman, the leading tackler for North Iowa this season, coming into tonight as he gets 16. This time for Bishop Garrigan, Drew Mahler will be the tight end on the left side of the line, with Rosenmeyer on the right side. Joyce, the lone receiver, out to the wide side of the field. That's on the left. And now Furch in the gun. He will hand to Sink. Sink breaks the tackle line of scrimmage, breaks the second tackle. He's in the middle of the field. He's to the 15, 10, still shaking tacklers, and he's going to go all the way. No one could stop Trayton Sink on that run, leaving the Bison defense behind and making it 20-0 Golden Bears.
Wow, what a run and what blocking up front. They pulled the right guard. That's Keaton Helliseth, and he blew up Cale Lorenzen, who was coming through the line, and the ball carrier cut right inside the block, just like the plays drawn up on the chalkboard. Beautiful block by Helliseth. He's going to be happy watching that one on film.
How about the variety of runs so far tonight by Trayton Sink? We've seen him get north to south quickly. We've seen that patience that his trademark as far as running is concerned, and we've seen him break a few tackles tonight, so a little power game as well. Sink holds the line drive kick by Galligan, and that one is going to bend through the uprights and make it 21-0 Bishop Garrigan. 4:33 on the clock in the first quarter on KLGZ Home Country Radio.
High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio, brought to you by these fine sports club members.
Signworks Inc. For all your signage needs and printed apparel, stop in or call 295-9544.
New Way K&H Co-op, delivering exceptional value through knowledge and innovation.
West Bend Ford, meeting your service, new and used vehicle needs.
Tom Eischen Sales, your store in the country, carrying steel and Toro products and Green Mountain pellet grills.
PMC Advantage Insurance Services, insuring our neighbors for over 80 years.
All sponsors of this game broadcast.
Trayton Sink of his second rushing touchdown of the evening, and Bishop Garrigan leading North Iowa 21-0, 4:33 left in the first quarter. And Brady Galligan, who's been a busy man so far tonight, set to kick it off again. North Iowa looking to generate a play in the special teams here if Wilkerson and Jacobson back to receive.
Galligan's got two touchbacks on his last 2 kicks. Can he make it a third? Here he goes.
Galligan kicking right to left on the radio dial, kicks it down the near side of the field. Wilkerson makes the catch at the 7-yard line, returning near side to the 10, to the 15-yard line, and he surges forward, but finally jumping on top of his back for Bishop Garrigan to make the tackle is Carter McGregor. Once again, the Golden Bears special teams, when it has been a touchback by Galligan, they've really covered those kickoffs well tonight.
Boy, Wilkerson, though, boy, I like this player for the Bison. He accelerates, he doesn't mess around, he runs north and south. He's going to come off the sideline with the play. He's playing some quarterback tonight. Bears are switching up defense a little bit. McGregor, who just made the tackle, just going to stay in the game. He's going to play some nose guard here. Miller, Marceau, Lichter, the linebackers, and Murphy and Joyce, the D-backs.
Bison trying to get that offense going. They've averaged 10.5 points per game through their first 2 games. Wilkerson takes the snap, little inside handoff, and getting drilled and pushed backwards is Kevin Hagan. They tried to sneak Kevin Hagan inside that time, but he was stopped. His forward progress only to the line of scrimmage.
Marceau on the legs, Miller up top, Lichter again. Those 3 linebackers, they should get basically a third of the credit for each tackle almost every single play. They just fly to the ball. The linemen, of course, as we all know, do the dirty work. They take on all the blockers, and then the linebackers just get a read and have fun.
Well, I'll give North Iowa credit. They've opened up the playbook early on against Bishop Garrigan. They're throwing a little bit of everything at the Golden Bears, but Bishop Garrigan has been up to the task. A couple receivers to the near side of the field. As the snap is taken, jet motion, and a flag at the time of the play. And North Iowa is going to lose 5 yards off of this false start.
Garrigan has Schwab and Rosemeyer on the line with McGregor. They're just playing it straight up, but the linebackers were moving. As Madden Miller was going in motion with the receiver. Because like you said, Tyler, they're opening up their playbook, so they're doing some tricky formations. So the Bears defense got to stay on their toes, make sure they account for everyone. Did a nice job there.
Bison break the huddle and get back up to the line of scrimmage. Second and at 15 from the 16-yard line. In the shotgun this time it's Jacobson. Jacobson looks left. He pumps up the shoulders. He pulls it down. He throws over the middle, and the catch is made. Getting it hard, but hanging on to the ball was Andrew Hoffman as Joyce plasters him. But that's about a 7-yard gain past the initial line of scrimmage and setting up third and manageable. And
Hoffman's down. It looks like he's got a stinger.
Yeah, Hoffman got popped pretty good on that play, so he is down on the field as of right now.
Yeah, Michael Joyce just met the time. He had it timed perfectly if you're a fan of defensive backs. The ball arrived, and Joyce arrived a half a second later and put a big hit on him. Nice, good, clean hit, but when you're running full speed like the receiver was, and all of a sudden your momentum gets stopped that fast, it's just a bone shaker. Everything feels like it gets knocked around even though you're wearing pads. There's nothing to stop that change of momentum.
It is, and of course coaches love the receivers who can run to the middle of the field as Hoffman gets up to his feet, and we'll have some water here as he gets his breath back after that hit to his midsection. But coaches love the receivers who can really work the middle of the field. They're not afraid to run those gritty routes because they know even an A player, a safety or a linebacker can be looming right there, just ready to take your head off, and you still got to focus in on the football and not think about the hit that's incoming.
Well, credit to Hoffman. It looks like he got the wind knocked out of him. He's taking big breaths now. I think when he got hit, he couldn't breathe initially, but now he's okay, getting some water, and that's important for the Bison. He's a good tackler, and as we saw just there, good hands, and he can take a hit.
Bison still looking for that first down of the game. They'll have Jacobson in the slot to the left. Out wide to the left is Hagan. In the gun, Wilkerson. The snap to Wilkerson. He's back to throw. He has to unload quickly down the left sideline. Coming back to the football. And it's a fight for it between Murphy and Hagan. Who's got the ball? Garrigan says they have it, and they do. It's an interception. Oh, and Murphy took it away from Hagan.
Now they're overruling
and now they're going to overrule it. They're going to say Hagan made the grab. Murphy's got his hands on his head. We had a split decision there by the officials, but they say tie goes to the wide receiver as Hagan pulls it away from Murphy.
Well, first down of the night for the Bison. They've had a hard time moving the ball. That time the Bears blitz. They don't do that very often, but boy, they sent the linebackers. Quarterback gets rid of the ball just before he gets blown up, and it works out for him. But it looked like Murphy, both receivers, receiver and D-back, were both on that ball. It was truly just a wrestle for the ball.
Wilkerson had to stand in and take a hit that time. That's not a good observation. Now Wilkerson deep in the shotgun. Wilkerson getting a little more space. Here comes Marceau blowing through, and he knocks him down for a sack. Even Marceau barely touched, and Wilkerson knocked all the way back to the 40-yard line.
Boy, this is one of those nights where you're going to have to find the plays that Ethan Marceau isn't in on the tackle. I don't know what the school record is for tackles, but he is all over the place tonight, folks.
That is another high V sack for the Bishop Garrigan Golden Bears. Last year when these two teams matched up, Bishop Garrigan had 8 sacks of North Iowa, and tonight, I believe they're already halfway there. Golden Bears, 3rd or 4th sack already. Couple by Heliseth, couple by Marceau as well.
That's $75 already. We're going to set a record for groceries here in the sack attack for high V.
Jet motion for North Iowa. Jacobson going to throw. He pulls it down. Heliseth jumps on his back and knocks the ball out. There is a flag on the play. Kramersmeyer dove on top of the ball for North Iowa and recovered the fumble. This is a sack as of right now, but we will check the penalty, and it's going to be holding on North Iowa, so Garrigan will certainly decline that penalty and take a huge loss of yardage.
Yeah, Kramersmeyer, we see him a lot in basketball, a really talented athlete for North Iowa. He's the biggest player on the North Iowa team, so you know what that means. You're on the line. But that guy's pretty athletic. He could probably play any position, but they need some help on the line, so Kramersmeyer is down there doing some blocking. That time it was Matt Besch with, he's playing from the nose guard position. He was putting some pressure on the quarterback. He had to decide whether he should go in for the big hit or try to block that pass.
North Iowa's put the football on the ground a couple of times so far tonight. Looked like they got it started early on that snap. Nothing called though. Besch collapsing the pocket, and it's another sack. This Golden Bear pass rush is getting home and just teeing off on Wilkerson and Jacobson. That drives them all the way back to their own 31-yard line as I believe it was Besch getting in there on the tackle.
That was Besch there first, and then it was tackled by committee, but you see that Coach Patterson is just rotating players in. All these linemen are staying fresh. Now Drew Muller's in there on the left line on this punt formation, but Besch, McGregor, Rosemeyer, all these guys keep rotating in, keeping fresh.
North Iowa tried to run the ball early. That wasn't working. Now they've got a pass down 21-0 as the punt is short. Takes a friendly bounce, though. Picked up by Murphy, and a flag comes in. Murphy down the sideline, gets out to about midfield. A second flag comes in as well.
Yeah, that was a block. Illegal block there by Garrigan. Murphy had a nice catch in the open field, and Mice tried to make it a little more open. And the official was right there, and so was the North Iowa crowd.
Yeah, blocking the back on the Golden Bears. You could hear the rise out of the crowd down in front of us. I think that's one of those calls that was obvious enough. The crowd made it too, and in this case, the crowd was correct.
Officiating is very difficult. Like, they've already had that really tough one when Murphy and the Bison receiver both caught the ball at the same time. That's a hard that you make the call on that one. They both caught it. And but that one, even us very, very poor officials like me can see that those open field blocks that are illegal.
21-0 Bishop Garrigan. 1:47 left in the first quarter, as this time it's the I formation. Furch under center. Furch will play action. He boots out to the right side, flips to the flat to Marceau, makes the catch. He's across the 30, has the first down, lowers the shoulder and delivers an extra bang along the sidelines as he gets to the 34.
Oh, you know what? Every time Marceau catches that ball in that pattern and he catches it in motion, great pass by Furch. He's got full speed going, and you see a much smaller defensive back coming over to tackle him. I always hold my breath for the defensive back because I know how hard Marceau hits when he's standing still and when he's got a full head of steam. It was I'm glad no one got hurt in that play.
Marceau had zero interest in running out of bounds, too. He actively looked for the contact there, as he always does. I formation again. This time Sink takes it. Sink gets up the middle of the field, drives the legs forward, and tries to run through Kramersmeyer, and has a nice gain of 7 or 8 yards on the first down pickup.
Kramersmeyer bear hugged him and threw him down to the ground, but that style of tackle gave Sink a couple more extra yards. The big Kramersmeyer, weighing 215, just kind of grabs Sink up high around the shoulders and helicopters him to the ground.
Yeah, that is a battle in the middle there. Caden Graves is the Bishop Garrigan center, and Jameson Kramersmeyer, a senior for North Iowa, playing in the middle of that defensive line. But he will now move back to the linebacker spot on this snap.
Yeah, Graves having a good game tonight. I know he's going to have a good game tonight.
Hand up in the middle for Marceau. Marceau dragging defenders. He's across the 30. He's all the way down to the 26-yard line. Marceau took a couple defenders for a ride that time, ran right for the middle as Brody Cooper was trying to hang on for dear life, as well as Andrew Hoffman.
Yeah, and then right on cue, Caden Graves and Carter Schwab. Both those guys were all the way down the field with the ball carrier, so they just blew their defensive lineman off the ball and just kept driving them all the way down the field. It's a great blocking by the center and left guard Carter Schwab.
Furch in the shotgun this time. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. They throw a screen out to the right side to Michael Joyce. Makes the catch and turns upfield. He's to the 20, 15-10, down the sideline, and there goes Joyce. A 27-yard touchdown. Michael Joyce. Run, a little pitch by Furch out to the right, and the fast wide receiver turns it into 6.
Yeah, that's the second time this season we've just seen a filthy move by Michael Joyce on the sideline. He can accelerate laterally and keep that speed going forward. He surprises the defenders with his breakaway speed. Just a nifty little move there, a sidestep, and he was off to the races. Boy, he's fun to watch in the open field.
It almost looked like North Iowa had him pinned along the sideline and was going to force him out of bounds after a modest gain of about 5 or 10 yards, but Joyce just had that extra gear that he got to. Galligan to tag on the extra point. This is a high booming kick, and that one goes through the uprights, making it 28-0 Bishop Garrigan. We'll keep it right here as there's 32 seconds left in the first quarter.
Boy, that is if they had a game of tag at football practice, I think Michael Joyce has got he's got a good chance to win with his quickness side to side. And Murphy, of course, has got that breakaway speed, but just like we were talking, Tyler, great to see their offense open up and get these guys involved. This is a night to do it. They're up 28-0. Let's open up this playbook because there will be tougher games ahead, correct? And you want to make sure that you've checked out all your plays, what works and what doesn't work. And when you're up 28-0, it gives you the freedom to try those things out.
It certainly does, and Tate Furch having a nice night as well, we should mention, really distributing the ball, made a couple great throws, had a deep shot early that time, just quick pitch out to the right to Michael Joyce. You know, last time these two teams matched up, Tate Furch was a perfect 6 for 6, probably his most efficient game is in those 6 completions. He threw for 120 yards and 3 touchdowns, so certainly Garrigan took their shots last year against North Iowa, and they are letting Furch spread the ball a little bit more tonight as well.
I don't want to put the broadcaster jinx on him, but every one of the balls he's thrown tonight have been right on the money, hit that receiver in stride.
Galligan on the kickoff. He'll send a line drive near side to Wilkerson, who catches just outside of the 10-yard line, runs into his own man, gets to the 20, trying to keep the legs churning, but Benedict Matthews knocks him down, and the rest of the Golden Bears squad right there on special teams as North Iowa will start at the 22.
Benedict Matthews, Isaac Delane, a couple seniors on there. Now DeLange's going to stay in the game. Seen that, keeping things organized. They often have a person in on the kickoff team is designated to stay in there and play, but we've got some backups here. I don't know. They're not really even backups because they always rotate these guys in. DeLange is in. Matt Besch is in. Rosemeyer is the left end. Right end over there is Carter McGregor.
You know, I like this defensive line for Garrigan. These are the 3 guys you normally play at nose guard. 2 of them are playing end, and one's playing nose guard with Rosenmeyer, McGregor, and Besch. That's an interesting defensive line as taking the snap, Jacobson, he runs left. Golden Bears seal off the edge, though, and they put a big hit on Jacobson again. McGregor coming out from the bottom of that pile, and it's no gain.
Yeah, good point, Tyler. Those guys have all played nose guard. So you've got, and the people that are chosen to be nose guard are fast. They're able to play low, and they're a little bit ornery. And so you've got 3 ornery linemen in there right now for the Bears, and Rosemeyer, Besch, and McGregor.
Well, the first quarter has come to an end as Bishop Garrigan leading North Iowa 28-0. We'll take a timeout and come back in 60 seconds on Home Country Radio and at the Algona Radio YouTube channel.
Thank you to these sports club members bringing you this game.
Runkey Brothers Full Service. Experience the Runkey Brothers difference for all your auto service and repair needs.
Nutrient Ag Solutions of Irvington and Laverne for all your crop input needs.
Erpelding Voigt and Company CPAs. They're not just about taxes.
Hy-Vee. Use the Fuel Saver card. Fill your cart, fuel your car.
North Iowa Appliance Center, Highway 18 East in Algona, where they sell the best and service the rest.
Erpelding Excavating Enterprises. Let them take care of your grading, excavating, and drainage needs.
All bringing you this ball game.
High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio, brought to you by these fine sports club members.
AK's Chrome Kitchen. When you come in, your family.
Farmers State Bank is proud to be part of our community. Offices in Algona, Whittemore, and West Bend.
Stroman Dental, giving you something to smile about.
Phil's Auto and Truck Repair. Service is the difference.
Trend Salon, your complete family hair salon. It's all about you.
Oak Crest Funeral Services, celebrating a life lived.
All bringing you this game on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
Start of the second quarter on KLGZ 98.5 FM, AM 1600, and the Algona Radio YouTube stream. Tyler Lance alongside Beanie Bodie. It's been 4 drives, 4 touchdowns so far for Bishop Garrigan as they lead it right now 28-0. North Iowa has 2nd and 10 from the 22-yard line. The teams switch sides of the field as the Bison will now head from right to left on the radio dial. In the shotgun, it's Wilkerson. Low snap, picks it off the grass, and he's going to lob it deep down the left side, and it's incomplete. The wide receiver for North Iowa, Braden Gray, curled back to the ball, but he was tied up in tight coverage with Michael Joyce as the ball sailed well over either of them.
Yeah, and right in the middle of the play, the receiver, Braden Gray, had some problems with his helmet, and he kind of had to stop and pull up there. There's always a little hand fighting if they bump right before. I think he might have got his face mask jarred or something, but he's trying to get his helmet straightened out on the sideline right now as Taylon Jacobson will come in for him. Well, Marceau now back at the right defensive end. McGregor, Besh, and Rosemeyer the rest of the line. They got a 4-man line. Joyce is playing one-on-one cornerback with their receiver who they're looking for. Joyce will blanket him.
Kevin Hagen's out wide to the right. He's the receiver. Running right, Jacobson. He's drilled in the backfield, and he's bear-hugged. Coming in once again and making the stop, Matt Besh. And that's another Hy-Vee sack for the Golden Bears. Besh's 2nd sack of the night.
Well, Hy-Vee will be donating some groceries. Thanks for them. But Besh, the sophomore, he is a growing machine. They have him listed at 5'10", 190. And he seems to be getting bigger every day. And he's good on the football field. He also flies in the water. He's the best swimmer on the Bishop Garrigan Bear School. And, boy, he's well known in the swimming ranks in the area.
And Garrigan's going to have to burn a timeout. They only had 7 guys on the field and were trying to run in someone late. So first timeout taken by Bishop Garrigan, as we'll keep it right here on KLGZ Home Country Radio. Well, Beanie here in Buffalo Center, Iowa, first road game of the season for the Golden Bears. And I will say, I love a team that is true to their brand. And, of course, the Bison, they're very true to their brand. If you look down to the left end zone here at the field, they have an actual Bison statue here. And, of course, if you've been in their basketball or volleyball gymnasium, there's a huge mural of a Bison painted on the wall as well. So I've got to give my props to North Iowa. They really do a nice job of branding their athletic teams.
Yeah, I love that mascot. The Bison's a great mascot for here, and that's what your dad said to you when you dropped you off at college, right, Tyler?
Yes. Bye, son.
My dad never said that. He said, "Don't go, please stay. We need you. Don't go to college."
He said, "Get out of here, Beanie." Slowing us down on the farm. Low snap on the punt. It's picked up off the ground, though, by Lorenzen, and he'll have to unload a short kick to the near side. That sails out of bounds on the Bishop Garrigan side of the field, so Garrigan will start on the plus side. Lorenzen just had to avoid the fumble there and get rid of the punt any way possible.
Yeah, he's had a great game kicking. He's been punting a lot. He's had a couple of fantastic punts, good hang time, but that time the bad snap. I was surprised he was able to get that punt away, but great scrambling around. Nice job by the punter there for the Bison getting that ball away. And, boy, this special teams, after their initial rough start to the season, they are really, really playing aggressive. A lot of big hits on that punt receive. Carter McGregor laying one of them as he went down the field.
Bishop Garrigan has 2 receivers to the short side of the field. Now the motion Lichter across towards the left. First back to throw. Slant over the middle to Murphy, and he makes the catch at the sticks. Murphy gets forward, and he has the first down. Wrapped up on the play by North Iowa's Max Wilkerson, but just a pitch and catch as Murphy limps a little bit coming up, but appears to be all right as he runs off the field.
Boy, another one where Murphy caught the ball. He kind of caught it on his left shoulder, and Wilkerson put his hands on the ball right away And a good job by Murphy for securing that ball. And they once again wrestled down to the ground. But Murphy yanks it away to make sure the referees don't mistake who's going to the ground with this ball.
Thad Kolash coming in as the receiver out to the right for the Golden Bears. Rosenmeyer, the tight end, on the left side of the line. This time North Iowa with only 2 down linemen, and they'll run Lichter to the left side. Big opening. He's the 20, and he's upended in the open field. A nice tackle by Jacobson to stop Lichter after 5 yards. Besides Jacobson, no one else was left over there.
Very good tackle there. Lichter was getting a little shifty there and couldn't decide whether he wanted to try to run him over or make a move. And Jacobson was not fooled and brings Lichter down. Boy, Thad Kolash was the receiver on that play. I watched him running routes before the game started. Garrigan's got a lot of receivers that run very good routes. Kolash is one of them.
Mice and Lichter are the 2 receivers to the right. Out to the left, it's Joyce. Furch in the gun of Marceau on his right hip. The junior back to throw. He guns it left. Joyce makes the catch. Joyce tries to stiff arm. Breaks the tackle to 10. Tries to tip to the sidelines, but he's forced out of bounds. A ferocious stiff arm, though, by Michael Joyce. Moved the chains and pushed Bishop Garrigan deep in the Red Power red zone.
Wow, talk about ornery. You know a kid's ornery when he looks ornery when he's running the ball. But, boy, that's a great run after the catch by Michael Joyce. Boy, Tyler, it's so great to see them open up that offense. Good job by the coaching staff. We know Marceau can run the ball up the middle. We know that Trayton Sink can follow the blockers and score touchdowns, but they are really working the whole playbook.
This time Garrigan goes big. Marceau creeping towards the center of the line. The handoff goes to Lichter. Runs behind the right guard, and the C's part as he walks into the end zone for a touchdown. The Golden Bears handled the front line easily that time, and Lichter scores from 7 yards out.
Oh boy, Lichter, great job reading the blockers. He almost could have given Carter Schwab a pat on the backside to say thanks, as he was just following Schwab right through the middle, up into the end zone.
So Garrigan will try to tack on the extra point. Brady Galligan once again, and if Garrigan makes this extra point, all of a sudden we're in a running clock situation. Mahler to snap, Sink to hold, and the swinging gate out towards the left side. 34-0 Golden Bears right now, and they're going to fake it. Sink throws left to Lichter. He makes the catch. Lichter towards the goal line, lowers the shoulder, runs over defender, and 2-point conversion good. 36-0 Garrigan.
Lichter lowers the shoulder and dives over the pylon. The official standing right there says, yes, he did break the plane before he got hit out of bounds.
So 36-0 Golden Bears. We take this time out on KLGZ 98.5 FM and AM 1600.
High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio, brought to you by these fine sports club members.
American Glass. For all your glass needs, think American.
Farm Bureau Financial Agents Dave Beisch, Daniel Foth, and Michael Tull.
Chemco Tires. They're all you need to know about tires and service.
Wykert Realtors, the 515 Agency, a fresh approach to real estate.
Grassmasters. Growing satisfied customers.
Iowa Lakes Community College, your community, your college. All bringing you this game on the radio.
Bishop Garrigan have a touchdown on each of their drives so far, leading at 36-0 with 10:04 on the clock in the second quarter. Brady Galligan will kick from left to right on the radio dial. The Bishop Garrigan Jr. approaching the football and kicking it away to North Iowa with 2 different turners back deep. It's Hoffman this time, fielding it at the 10-yard line, gets it to the middle to the 15-20. He gets hit hard and he gets knocked backwards. Isaac DeLange just took the top off that time as North Iowa will start the drive at the 23.
And Madden Miller came in and helped clean up on that special teams tackle. DeLange stays in. Miller's going to stay in and play linebacker. Got Rosemeyer Besh down on the line. And Murphy is playing D-back along with Joyce. No, Joyce is going to play some linebacker.
Well, Bishop Garrigan has a versatile defense, guys who are capable of playing multiple positions. The wide receiver for North Iowa, Hagan, towards the left side of the field. He's going to motion towards the right. Wilkerson takes the low snap. He's going to run, looking for the block from Hagan. He's hit in the backfield, and he's knocked down. Slicing in there, Andrew Lichter as he got through. Rosenmeyer helping out as well on the 2-yard loss.
Yeah, that time Lichter, who just scored the touchdown and the 2-point conversion, he came on the field late, running in, so Garrigan had 8 guys. But now they start rotating guys at position, trying some people out. You better have your ears open on the sidelines, because your coaches are going to call your name, and you better be ready to go. You don't want to miss the boat.
Well, you can tell so much of North Iowa's offense is based on the quarterback run game, whether Jacobson or Wilkerson lines up at quarterback, but Garrigan has closed that up so far today. And then in the passing situations, North Iowa just has to find a way to buy their quarterback more time. Here comes pressure again, fading back and throwing is Jacobson, and has the completion to Gray. Gray spinning, driving the legs forward, and he's just shy of the first down, it appears, but they may give him a generous spot, and It does appear they will, in fact, move the chains on the 11-yard gain.
Nice pass and good hard running after the catch. Wow, that's a great catch by Braden Gray and a run afterwards. Boy, the quarterback is doing a great job of staying in the pocket. Kramersmeyer, the senior lineman for North Iowa, was really fighting Carter McGregor off on the outside, trying to keep him from getting to the quarterback. But you've got big, strong Kramersmeyer versus ornery, light and fast McGregor. That's a fun matchup.
Mason Fleener for North Iowa, the tight end on the right side, as it'll be just a sneak through the middle. I don't know if North Iowa realized it was first down.
I think maybe they thought they still had a yard to go, and that's what I thought. It looked like he was initially short, but he was awarded the first down with that good hard running after the catch. But as it is, the first down sneak does get them a yard and a half.
So make it second down, about 8.5 yards to go with 7:47 and it ticking in the second quarter. Well, running behind Kramersmeyer in a short yardage situation wouldn't be too bad of an idea. He is North Iowa's center, or guard, I should say, on this play, but that crease in between the center Cooper and the guard Kramersmeyer is one that you can hit.
Yeah, and in this formation, there is a gap there, but Lichter's filling it.
Back to throw is Jacobson. Jacobson stepping up in the pocket. Rosenmeyer jumps on his back. He bear hugs him and dumps him for a sack. Another high-V sack by the Golden Bears, and once again, time is just not holding up in the pocket for Jacobson or Wilkerson.
No, good job by Rosenmeyer. The defensive end play for Garrigan is something Coach Wadley takes so much pride in. You got to do a good job at defensive end, or you're going to be yanked for another guy, and Rosenmeyer is playing well here these last couple series. He's a cowboy. He's all over the local fairs showing his cattle, winning all kinds of cattle awards, and he wrestles that guy to the ground. Not that cow, that bison.
That's right. Well, North Iowa and Bishop Garrigan right now playing in the second quarter, 36-0 Garrigan. And you always say offensive linemen love it when you run the ball. Well, defensive linemen love to pin their ears back and chase after the quarterback. And after Garrigan played a running team last week with West Bend Mallard, who really doesn't like to throw the ball, these defensive ends are getting an absolute treat, really getting a chance to pursue the quarterbacks.
It's really fun to be a lineman for Garrigan when you know those linebackers are going to save you if you ever make a mistake.
In the shotgun, it's Wilkerson. He's going to motion Hoffman towards the right side, across the formation. Wilkerson holds and takes the snap. Garrigan's going to bring a little heat this time. Wilkerson lobs near side, broken up by Owen Murphy. He came over the top and smacked the ball away from Kevin Hagan, and it's fourth down.
Again, great presence of Wilkerson in the pocket. He feels the wall collapsing in around him, and he sets those feet and still throws a good ball. Great coverage by the Bears. Murphy right on the coverage. Nice there.
Bison so far tonight have been limited to just 2 first downs, and they will be forced to punt once again as Cale Lorenzen will kick it away. Lorenzen, with his heels back at his own 20-yard line, takes a good snap this time and boots a knuckleball towards the right side, away from Murphy, importantly, as the ball bounces out of bounds at the 26-yard line. It is a concerted effort to keep the ball away from Murphy tonight. They're really kicking sideline to sideline and trying to neutralize the Garrigan return game.
Well, here comes Helliseth and company. The line's been doing a great job, led by that right guard, Keaton Helliseth. He's been a pulling guard and hitting people. Schwab is the left guard. And Marceau coming in to run that I formation. Nope, now Helliseth is going to sub out. They're going to start moving some fresh bodies in. Lear comes in for the senior Helliseth. Like I said, you better be listening.
That's right. That is Nate Lear. We should point out, in case you missed the opening of our game, Nick Lear, a wide receiver for the Golden Bears, is out of tonight's game as he was on crutches in the pregame due to an ankle injury. So Golden Bears will come out with Mice out to the left side. Underneath center is Furch with 2 backs behind him.
Kyle Borman running the tailback position. Looks like a power I lead run.
They'll give it to the fullback this time. Marceau finds a seam on the right side, holding on for dear life and making the stop is Max Wilkerson. As Marceau was just trying to drag his way forward, he gets 4.
We talked before the game, Tyler. One of those things I kind of want to see tonight, I want to see Ethan Marceau's speed when he gets out in the open field. Wilkerson holds on to that big left tree trunk of Marceau's and keeps that from happening.
That would be a scary sight for any defensive back in the open field to see Ethan Marceau rumbling your way.
Well, I've seen Ethan Marceau, as you have as well, in the track season, run in the 4x1, run in the open 100. Like, he has got some speed for a big man. That's why he's the fullback. And I'd love to see him out in the open field, see what kind of speed he can turn on.
2nd and 7 from the 30-yard line. This time, Furch is going to roll towards the left. He guns it, throws behind his receiver and incomplete. That pass should have been picked off as it was right into the hands of Hoffman, but it bounced off and it's 3rd and 7.
First incomplete pass by Furch tonight, and he paid for it. He took a pop after he threw that ball. He got sent to the ground, and that doesn't happen very often. And he's going to pick himself up. He's a tough kid, that Tate Furch. Now, you know what, Tyler? We'll see if we have a Tate Furch run tonight. We haven't seen one of those yet, and Tate does run the ball at least once or twice a game.
He is a mobile quarterback. He has the ability to run as he ran for 571 yards and 11 touchdowns last season. as he comes out under center this time. One receiver to the left side, 3rd and 7. It's a handoff to Borman. Borman hit in the backfield, and he's knocked down. Knifing in there, Cale Lorenzen. And for the first time tonight, North Iowa stops Bishop Garrigan.
Carter McGregor looking around. It's like, what happened there, guys? What didn't we do correctly? Trying to assess the situation. You get used to success on every play. When one gets blown up, you're a little flustered.
So 4th down and 6 from the 31-yard line, 3:12 and it ticking until halftime. The second quarter going fast as the running clock is implemented.
It looked like the punt team was running on, and now everyone's running back off. So are they going to go for it?
Well, we don't have a view of a play clock here tonight. The officials
they're huddling up. They're huddling up like they're going for it.
Garrigan is breaking the huddle with 2:53 left in the half. They may have to hustle here. It's 4th and 6 from the 31-yard line. Furch takes a snap. He pitches left to Borman. Borman looking for a seam. Borman finds it. He has the first down. He's to the 40. He's to the 35, and he's tripped up by the ankles. Jacobson made the stop, but Borman found the hole, and he got the first down.
Well, quick feet by Borman. Accelerates through that nice blocking on the outside. That's confidence of the Bears. They're 4th and 6 or so, and they go for it, knowing that if they get those blocks on the edge, Borman will race through and get that first down.
And they run the ball, too, on 4th and 6, not to mention.
That's right. Yeah, that's a lot of confidence right there in your offense. I suppose, and defense, knowing that if you don't make that, your defense will hold up.
And this is why Garrigan really benefits from having different types of running backs, too. Borman's a great guy. You get him out with a little bit of space on a pitch play like that, too, and just let him turn on the jets. He's definitely a speed back for Garrigan as Furch is back to throw, looking right side. Pass is knocked away. What a great break on the ball that time by Max Wilkerson to swat it down and force the incompletion.
Yeah, Wilkerson, talented player. That was intended for Daniel Mice. He and Kyle Borman kind of ran a crossing pattern, and Furch got his choice of who to throw to. He chose Mice, but the coverage there was great.
1:40 left in the first half. This is a Bison defense that was really trying to piece it together going into the season. They graduated their 4 leading tacklers from last year, so a lot of new faces who hadn't played a whole lot of varsity time in their starting lineup. Now Garrigan does want to score before halftime and not give North Iowa the ball here, as they are going to burn a little clock down to 1:23.
Well, we don't have a working play clock, so we assume those officials are telling that quarterback how much time he's got.
Furch tiptoeing towards the right side, has some pressure, throws in the flat, has the completion to Drew Moeller. Moeller rumbling to the 20, 15, and he falls down to the 11-yard line. Knocked down on the play by North Iowa's number 22, Walker Johnson, but a stick-moving play.
Good route by Drew Moeller. I saw him running routes before the game, too, and I said, geez, another guy that runs nice routes. We've seen that play before, and usually it goes to Marceau. That time, Drew Moeller stepping up there, making a great catch. And McGregor out blocking for him, gets him a nice run after the catch.
And the one-time quarterback turning into a tight end on the play is Furch. Pitches left side to Borman. Borman for the lead block from McGregor. Borman trying to find the edge. Oh, what a block by McGregor. Borman leans towards the end zone, and it's a touchdown for Bishop Garrigan. Carter McGregor for the lead block, and Borman cashes it in.
Oh, and a great read by Borman to read that block that was coming by McGregor. He had to predict that block was going to happen. If it didn't happen, then he's dead meat, but he knows McGregor's coming. Good blocking, as it has been all night. The Bears blocking looking great tonight on the line and in the open field.
This time, Mice will be the holder, and Garrigan will try to tack on the extra point. 42-0 Bishop Garrigan right now, as there's just 31 seconds left in the half. The big play to Mahler, and then the rushing touchdown by Borman from 11 out. The kick almost got blocked that time, but Garrigan able to get it through the uprights in spite of pressure.
Oh, Kevin Hagan for North Iowa doesn't know how that didn't hit some part of his body. He was right there in front of Brady Garrigan kicking the ball, and it must have went through his arms, next to his head, something, but he was right in front of the kick.
So Golden Bears up 43-0. Don't forget, at halftime, we'll have your Murphy Realty Management first half recap. Also, the Algona Municipal Utilities You Make the Call segment. That's all coming up at halftime here on Home Country Radio, KLGZ. Well, while we mention what's coming up as well, don't forget, tomorrow morning on KLGA, we'll hear from Coach Wadley and several other coaches around the area for Breakfast with the Coaches every Saturday morning. Always good to sit down and talk with Coach Wadley these Saturday after games.
Yeah, Tyler, I want to point out here, Drew Moeller on that catch. Nice catch. Just to put yourself in his shoes as a young person, you're the junior high quarterback, and then you start growing, you get really big, and then you still think you're going to be that quarterback, and he throws a really great ball, and he was a good quarterback. But then all of a sudden, this Tate Furch comes along, and obviously fantastic quarterback. We win the state title, and he makes the decision, all right, I'm going to try tight end, and he gets rewarded there, gets a good catch.
That's a great point, and I definitely want to expand on that as Garrigan kicks it away. Ball rolls to Wilkerson. It goes through his hands and into the end zone for a touchback. Everyone wants to play quarterback, right? That's the position that gets all the glory, and for good reason. But if you're a guy like Mahler or really several other Garrigan Bears who have the ability to play quarterback, as we always say, there can only be one quarterback on the field, and that job belongs to Tate Furch right now. So if you're a guy like Mahler, you make your impact by being a long snapper, by being a tight end, and that goes for other guys on the field too. You know, Michael Joyce is a quarterback, but, you know, wide receiver. He plays safety. We saw him a little at linebacker. So you play at other positions, you be a good guy in the locker room, you do your role for the team, and that's why Garrigan was walking away with a state title last year.
Yeah, great unselfish designing of the team, and they do a lot of that themselves. They talk a lot about sports in the offseason.
It's a pitch for North Iowa, and that play gets blown up in the backfield. Getting dumped for a loss is Kevin Hagan as they tried to pitch it to him, and that loses 3 yards.
There's Matt Besch and Carter McGregor in on there. Andrew Lichter as well.
And North Iowa not in a super big rush here, just 13 seconds left until the half, so they may be content to let this one go to the locker room with a 43-0 score right now. Bison will start to walk towards the sideline here as the final 2 seconds tick away in the first half, and that is going to be it for half number 1. All Bishop Garrigan in the first half, running and passing, and a solid defense that only gave up 2 first downs in the first half. So 43-0 your score right now. Let's step aside for a quick timeout. Get your halftime coverage after this on KLGZ Home Country Radio.
We've got more sports club members making this broadcast possible on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
Lusher Family Dentistry, serving your family since 1965 on Call Street in Algona.
Algona Plumbing and Heating, where a good flush beats a full house.
Kasuth Regional Health Center, your home for health care.
Walker Chiropractic and Wellness, caring for Algona, Sway City, and surrounding areas with chiropractic, nutritional, and physical therapy services.
Reeves Wicked Good Bar and Grill, for wicked good food, drinks, and service, you gotta go to Reeves.
All sponsors of this game broadcast.
That's it for the first half of play. Now get set for the Edward Jones Halftime Show featuring Algona Municipal Utilities. You make the call. And the Murphy Realty and Management first half recap. Your Edward Jones representatives are Bruce Keith, Jerry Sokup, Brady Ross, and Mackenzie Jorgensen.
43-0 at the half as Bishop Garrigan leads North Iowa. We'll get to your Murphy Realty and Management first half recap after these messages on KLGZ.
Don't let concerns about shifts in the market disrupt your long-term financial goals. Hi, I'm Edward Jones Financial Advisor Jerry Sokup. Let's work together on an investment strategy for long-term results. While you can't control market volatility, you can control your financial future. Start by giving me a call at 515-295-7766. Along with Bruce Keith, Brady Ross, and Mackenzie Jorgensen, together we are your local Edward Jones Financial Advisors. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Safe and affordable housing. Those are words we like to hear. And Murphy Realty and Management Incorporated provides just that. With properties in Algona and several surrounding counties, Murphy Realty and Management Incorporated provides safe and affordable apartments at a time when everyone could really use it. They pride themselves as a local entity that aims to help you find exactly what you're looking for. Give them a call at 515-295-2927 or stop in their office located at 208 East State Street in Algona. This institution is an equal housing opportunity provider.
It is your Edward Jones halftime show here on Home Country Radio KLGZ, brought to you by your Algona Edward Jones representatives, Bruce Keith, Mackenzie Jorgensen, Jerry Sukup, and Brady Ross. We have your Murphy Realty and Management first half recap right now, and the recap is all Bishop Garrigan. 43-0 Golden Bears as we enter the halftime. The scoring plays for Bishop Garrigan included a rushing touchdown by Trayton Sink to start things off. 10:04 left in the first quarter. Sink scored from 3 yards out. After that, Owen Murphy caught a 33-yard touchdown pass from Tate Furch with 7:18 on the clock in quarter number 1. Trayton Sink added his second touchdown of the game, a 29-yard rush with 4:33 left in the first quarter, as Garrigan took a 3-touchdown lead at that point. Then it was a quick pitch and catch, little screen out to Michael Joyce. That went 27 yards to the house and gave Bishop Garrigan their 4th touchdown of the game, all coming during the first quarter. As we progressed to the second, a couple of Garrigan's other running backs got into the action as Andrew Lichter scored on a 7-yard rush, and Kyle Borman added an 11-yard rush. And that's how we got to this point. 43-0 Bishop Garrigan at the half. The defense has been every bit as impressive as the offense, stifling North Iowa, holding them to 2 first downs. And Beanie, the quarterback pressure has been absolutely stifling. North Iowa's tried a few quarterback run plays. That didn't really work, so they switched to the drop back passing for a little bit. But the pressure by Keaton Heliseth, Matt Besch, Rosenmeyer as well, they're all coming in and getting after the quarterback.
Yes, it's so frustrating if you're an offense for the Bison right now. You just can't get anything started because that defense is just coming at you every play. Even if they don't have a blitz called, sometimes just the one-on-one matchups, the Bears are just blowing the linemen off the ball, and that means the quarterback's got nothing to do. But to his credit, those quarterbacks for the Bison have stayed in the pocket and thrown some pretty good balls before they got drilled by the defensive Bears. And we knew that going in, Tyler. We knew from the very first game of the season that the Bears defense was going to be very tough. So many players back, and we knew that they were very skilled. And I don't know what to say about this matchup. You know, it's North Iowa. I feel bad for them. They started us off this season with 2 really tough non-district games. Then they open up the district against the #1 team in the state, defending state champs. You know, it's a tough one for the North Iowa team to bear with, but they clearly have some bright spots back there. But at this point, if you're the Garrigan Bears, up 43-0, I don't even know what you talk about at halftime. I suppose you try to make sure you encourage those players. Don't develop any bad habits. Don't just start chasing the ball and develop a bad habit and play your game.
And you'll see more guys getting in on the action in the second half. And we already saw it in the first half. We saw a lot of new receivers lining up, whether it's Dan Mice or Thad Kolash. We saw a pass to Drew Mahler towards the end of the first half that set up that Kyle Borman touchdown. So this is kind of the part of the game if you're Garrigan where you get to the development of your depth. A lot of the other players get in and get some action here. You can get some weight off the legs of some of your starters as well. So really a chance here in the second half to get guys an opportunity to score and get some confidence in a varsity game.
Yes, and 14 seniors out for football this year. Boy, that's incredible numbers. Now it's a chance to get those 14 seniors in the game if there haven't been already a lot, so expect a lot of subs coming in that second half. But to that point, if you're one of those guys that has been working so hard and winning the battles at practice and finally you're in that position on the field, you're going to be on the bench, but no fault of your own. You earn the starting spot, but in this 43-0 situation, you're going to have to bow out and let's see some of those guys that are behind you on the field.
Well, Beanie, the final point I'll make about the first half is something we talked about in the pregame show. You mentioned Garrigan experimenting a little bit more on offense, maybe taking a couple of deep shots, airing out the passing game a little bit, and they've certainly done that, a few more passing attempts tonight. But I'd also say they've experimented a bit on defense. We've seen them blitz a couple of more times, some different looks defensively. So tonight's the kind of game where Garrigan tries a few more plays, opens to the playbook and says, we'll see what works, and if it doesn't work, we'll scrap it and, you know, put it in the back of the playbook.
Yeah, I think those coaches are kind of like unwrapping a gift throughout this season. They're starting to see the abilities of some of these players, and they're starting to say, hey, I wonder if we could do this. And they start following the guy in motion. They start stretching the field a little bit defensively because they know their closing speed is really good. So they start to widen out their defensive formations, knowing that their linebackers have speed. They really start to flex a little bit on their defensive playbook and just see just how far can they take it. If they blitz, can they recover in time? And yeah, you can still learn a lot from these 43-0 game situations, and you can always teach. You can always teach these players through and through. And opening up the offensive playbook, you know Coach Wiley, when he gets in a tough game that's not 43-0, he wants to have a balanced attack. And so you want to make sure you have those. You don't want to have to throw a pass that you've never thrown before when it really is important. So, yeah, this is a good opportunity for the Bears to keep growing and learning, and for the North Iowa team to keep improving on what they can do, because Garrigan will bring in the reserves, but North Iowa, they're going to keep playing that same lineup because that's who they got. And so it's a chance for them to get polished here in the second half as well.
That's certainly correct. Garrigan has tried new things in every aspect of the game, including special teams. They went for that swinging gate two-point conversion where they threw out to the left side, and Andrew Lichter took it in for 2. And the special teams coverage has been great tonight. Much better job covering the kickoffs for Bishop Garrigan. So a lot to like about a 43-0 start for the Golden Bears, as that is your Murphy Realty Management first half recap. Right now, we'll step aside for a couple of quick messages. Get to the You Make the Call segment, brought to you by Algona Municipal Utilities. That's coming up next on KLGZ 98.5 FM and AM 1600.
Market declines, unemployment, today's headlines can be scary. Hi, I'm Edward Jones, financial advisor, Mackenzie Jorgensen. I'll work with you to help you understand the impact of short-term events and how to prepare for the long term. We provide the tools for a reasoned, disciplined approach to investing. Don't let headlines derail your long-term financial strategy. Contact me, Mackenzie Jorgensen, at 515-395-4021, along with Bruce Keith, Jerry Sokup, and Brady Ross. We are your local Edward Jones financial advisors. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
It's time for You Make the Call as we test your knowledge of the rules. You Make the Call is brought to you by Algona Municipal Utilities, where they are community-owned for community benefit. Our referee this evening is Tom Claude.
Quarterback A1 drops back to pass and throws the ball forward either inbounds or out of bounds to an area not occupied by an eligible receiver. Is this a legal forward pass? You make the call.
Make the call with AMU Telephone Service. AMU local and long-distance telephone provides the call clarity and reliability you expect at an affordable price. Enhance your AMU telephone service with calling features like caller ID and voicemail. When you switch to AMU telephone, you can keep your 295 phone number and you get friendly local customer service. Make the call to AMU to install AMU telephone. Algona Municipal Utilities, community-owned for community benefit.
Game officials must determine if 1, the passer has possessed the ball beyond the lateral boundary of the free blocking zone as established at the snap, and 2, if the pass went beyond the neutral zone extended, including the extension beyond the sideline. If both 1 and 2 are true, the pass is legal, the down counts, and there is no foul.
And this has been You Make the Call, brought to you by Algona Municipal Utilities, where they are community-owned for community benefit.
It's true, many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than preparing for retirement. But if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, I'm Edward Jones financial advisor Bruce Keith. Together we can give you your long-term retirement strategy the attention it deserves. Stop by our office at 100 North Phillips Street. Contact me, Bruce Keith, at 515-295-5173. Together with Jerry Sukup, Mackenzie Jorgensen, and Brady Ross, we are your local Edward Jones financial advisors. Edward Jones, members SIPC.
It is Bishop Garrigan 43 and North Iowa nothing, as we're about 5 minutes away from the start of the second half here on KLGZ Home Country Radio. If you're watching on the YouTube stream, stick with us. We'll be back here in a couple of minutes. If you're listening on the radio, we'll get a quick Radio Iowa sports update and a weather forecast update as well. We'll get that after this message on 98.5 FM and AM 1600.
Don't let concerns about current events derail your long-term financial strategy. I'm Edward Jones financial advisor Brady Ross. We can work together to understand today's financial landscape and make sure you achieve your goals. While you can't control market volatility, you can control your financial future. Let's connect. Contact me, Brady Ross, at 515-295-7763. Together with Bruce Keith, Jerry Sukup, and Mackenzie Jorgensen, we are your local Edward Jones financial advisors. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Where you bank matters. Hi, I'm Sherry Bacon at Security State Bank, and we're relationship bankers. We get to know our customers and understand their financial needs. We're locally owned and operated, which means family, community, and service always comes first. So come to Security State Bank. We'll treat you like family. Security State Bank in Algona, Burt, and Laverne. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Security State Bank.
Start of the second half on KLGZ Home Country Radio as Bishop Garrigan leads North Iowa 43-0 in this district matchup. Golden Bears trying to start 3-0 on the season as Lorenzen kicks it off. He'll squib it towards the near side. Borman's going to let it roll. That ball wants to stay in bounds, and it was picked up by Bishop Garrigan, but I think, boy, it was Dalton Clens picking that ball up. I think Dalton Clens had 1 foot out of bounds when he touched that, so that should have been a kickoff out of bounds penalty.
Yeah, I can affirm that. He definitely had his left foot out of bounds when he touched that ball.
When the receiving player has a foot out of bounds when he first makes contact with the ball is also considered out of bounds. So Garrigan's going to have bad field position to start, but that should have been a kickoff out of bounds penalty. That's a miss right there.
Well, that's an important rule to know if you're a possible kick returner, because if you just make sure that foot's out of bounds when you receive that ball, get yourself a penalty.
Well, that's a high IQ play by Dalton Clens, even though they didn't see it. So,
Dalton Clens, a player we haven't mentioned yet this year. He's another youngster, a sophomore for the Bears, another speedster coming up through the ranks.
And the new quarterback is C.J. McGregor as he turns and hands off to Borman. Big hole left side. Borman breaks a tackle. He stumbles and keeps his feet, and there he goes. He's to the 40, 30, 20, 10. Touchdown, Kyle Borman. Breaking the big one, 68 yards.
We didn't even have time to tell who all the new guys were in the game. We got C.J. McGregor, quarterback, and Kyle Borman takes the handoff from him, and he stumbled. He kept his balance. It looked like he might trip and fall.
But it's going to be a holding on Garrigan. There was a flag all the way back near the line of scrimmage.
None of us saw the flag because we were watching Kyle Borman.
He got down the field so fast.
Yeah, we were just watching him run north, and the field was flag way on the southern end of the field. And we'll erase that big touchdown run for Borman.
Well, folks, while they respot the ball, did you know that you can test drive a Ford and earn $20 for your school? That's right. If you take a spin in a new Ford vehicle, for every test drive taken, Ford will donate $20 to your school, up to $6,000 total per event. The little drive could go a long way. They're doing this at Chemna's, and they're doing it on September 19th. So, again, if you test drive a Ford, just say you want to donate $20 to Bishop Garrigan or Algona if you prefer that. Taking place September 19th at Chemna's as McGregor bumps into his back. He got the handoff off anyways, and it's going to be a nice run. Titan Troyer getting out close to the first down mark as he got about 13 yards there.
Good run by Titan. He's a freshman, new to the program. I got to remember that. Test drive on September 19th. Test drive a Ford. So that was a fun play because CJ and Titan, they kind of ran into each other in the backfield. That's a big no-no. But then they made the handoff. McGregor sprints out in front of the ball carrier and throws a block to spring him for that 13 yards.
We saw a lot of explosive plays from McGregor last week in cleanup time against West Bend Mallard. Right now, 2nd and 2 is Benedict Matthews as the receiver out to the right. He looks one way, he pitches to Troyer. Troyer versus field, and that might get him somewhere. Troyer has the first down. Troyer with the stiff arm. He's to the 30-yard line, and he's able to pick up the first down by plenty.
Good run by Troyer. I've been watching him at the lower levels. They had a JJV game, and I've seen him at a JV game. He's a very raw, young running back with good speed and good aggressiveness. And McGregor doing the quarterbacking duties. We talked about quarterbacking earlier in this broadcast, Tyler. The Bears have a plethora of quarterbacks in the upperclassmen ranks to back up, but you want to have a guy ready to go so you can leave those guys like Joyce and Muller. So McGregor is really getting the job done here. He's just a freshman and doing a real good job as the backup quarterback.
Troyer in the slot this time. It's a read play to Besh. Besh lowering the shoulder and getting downhill. A 6-yard run by Besh. That was just a nice option play as McGregor let Besh have it, and he had a little bit of green to work with.
My goodness, Taylon Jacobson is getting himself to the sideline. He brought down Besh, but he paid for it. Besh runs north and south. He's not looking to run around to anybody. And Matt Besh just created a major collision, and Jacobson paid the price for it.
Bishop Garrigan ran for 330 yards last week against West Bend Mallard, and they may be trying to do something similar in the second half today against North Iowa, getting a lot of different running backs in on the action, even some who didn't have carries in the first 2 weeks. Thad Kolash, the receiver, to the short side of the field. On the left, there's a pitch to the right side. This one's going to Borman, trying to bend it outside. He's got to cut back in. He breaks the tackle. Borman trying to weave his way forward. He's got the first down. Borman, 4 yards. He was dead to rights for a 2-yard loss, but he escaped, and he picks up the first down carry.
Boy, he really fought for that first down. He got that extra 4 yards. He just drug that tackler along with him, showing some power there by Kyle Borman here as the Bison reset with their defense here. And you know, we might say in a game where there's a blowout and Garrigan has some of their backups in, where are the Bison backups? Well, they only have 8 guys on the bench. They have 2 guys in street clothes, so there's not much that can be subbed in.
Underneath center is C.J. McGregor. He'll fake the pitch. He'll hand it off. Quick hitter to Carter McGregor. McGregor to the 35-yard line, and he'll pick up about 4.5. Tackle made on the play by Hoffman for North Iowa.
Hoffman continues to rack up tackles for the Bison, leading tackler on the team. We say Nate Lear's in there at center right now, snapping the ball to McGregor, as Caden Graves will take a break here in the third quarter, along with many of the other Garrigan starters. We've got Carson Kramer. Moose is in the game at left guard. And we've got new players coming left and right. We will keep you apprised. Mice brings the play in. Muller is the left tight end.
And underneath center, C.J. McGregor, I formation, 2 backs to the backfield as it's 2nd and 5, 7:13 and ticking in the third quarter, 43-0 Garrigan. McGregor keeps it, he boots out to the right side, he throws, and it's incomplete. He was looking that time in the area of Mahler and McGregor. They were both out there, but it went over their heads, as well as Max Wilkerson out there in coverage.
Well, if anything, McGregor did a nice job of getting rid of the ball, because Kramersmeyer came through and he could have put a big hit on him afterwards. If he holds on that ball for another half a second, it's a sack by Kramersmeyer. Good job by that senior for the Bison. Also in there, we got Scott Borman, a senior that has paid his dues and then some. He's playing that right guard position for the Bears here. Thad Kolash split wide.
3rd down and 5. Kolash is out to the wide side of the field. McGregor underneath center again, I formation. He turns and he gives, puts it into the pocket of Borman. This time a patient run as he picks his way forward, follows the blockers and gets the 5 yards he needed. Looked like he got enough. It's close to the sticks, but Borman just a very, very patient run, taking a page out of Sink's book, and they're going to say inches short. I think that's going to call for a measurement, and now they'll say first down.
You see these runs by Borman. You see like the good coaching of the Bear running back coaches. The Golden Bear coaches really coach those running backs to read the blocks, follow the blocks. You don't necessarily have to make a touchdown every play. And I can say when I saw Kyle Borman and some of these other backs as younger, that's what every running back wants to do. They want to play ground, they want to go against the grain, reverse fields, and turn everything into a highlight run. But Borman, great job following the blockers there.
Benedict Matthews split out to the right side. That's the wide side of the field. Mahler, the tight end, on the left side. 2 backs standing behind McGregor. He turns and hands off to Borman. Borman, big hole between the guard and the center, and he sneaks his way through down to the 23-yard line. Solid gain of 6 on first down.
Hoffman in on the tackle again, along with a nice ankle snare by Cale Lorenzen, sophomore for the Bison. Bison has a lot of young players, folks. They've got the senior Max Wilkerson, and other than that, I don't see another senior on the, Kramersmeyer, Noah Hansen, they're seniors, but there's a lot of sophomores and a big sophomore class, so that bodes well for the Bison.
Bison, a team that finished 2-6 last year, but off to an 0-2 start this year. Like we said in the pregame, though, tough start. 2 playoff teams, Riceville and Clarksville in the first 2 games, Garrigan in game 3, and Clarksville, people forget, was a state title contender last year. Besh takes the handoff out to the left side, lowers the shoulder, and dishes out punishment. He's into the red power red zone as Jacobson flips him up. Besh going over the top, and a Bison is down and injured after that play.
Same thing. Talon Jacobson had to come up and make the tackle, and he popped okay. But his compadre is on the ground here.
That appears to be Mason Fleener.
Holding his leg there. Well, we said it before, folks. Matt Besh is not looking to make any friends out there in the open field. He had good blocking. He got out there, turned on the jets, and he is not going to run away from contact.
And check that. That's not Mason Fleener, but Alexis Merlot for North Iowa, number 18, down on the field right now. So while they tend to him, we're going to take a quick timeout and come back after this on KLGZ Home Country Radio.
We've got more Sports Club members making this broadcast possible on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
Algona Frame and Auto Body. We meet by accident.
Water Connection, from softeners to bottled water and service. Call 295-SOFT.
Algona Pizza Ranch. There's so much to love.
Cotton Gray Farm Management and Land Realty, downtown Algona. Trusted for farmland service needs since 1960.
Algona Livestock. Sales every Monday.
Countryside Barbecue Sauce. 2 sauces for all seasons.
All bringing you this broadcast on the radio. When you need cash on the go, there's no need to pay a surcharge fee with MoneyPass. Iowa State Bank is proud to be part of the MoneyPass network of surcharge-free ATMs found nationwide. Look for the green and blue MoneyPass symbol on over 32,000 ATMs across the nation. Or find an ATM near your vacation spot or travel destination at MoneyPass.com. MoneyPass, another way that Iowa State Bank helps people succeed. Member FDIC.
High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio, brought to you by these fine sports club members.
Central Financial Group, where you belong.
Down to Earth Tree Service, your local Algona Tree Service.
Styles Salon, your salon in Algona. Create yourself.
Farm and Home Services. View their listings at farmhomeservices.com.
Holmes Animal Clinic, animals large and small. They love them all.
Dance Connection and Tumbling by Michelle. Passionate about teaching, creative about dance. Visit their studio or danceconnectionbymichelle.com.
All bringing you this ball game. For over 40 years, Northwest Iowa Bone, Joint, and Sports surgeons have maintained one mission: to provide excellence in orthopedic care. Their team of 9 physicians offers specialized care in everything from arthroscopic same-day surgery to joint replacement, as well as hand and foot surgery, and have an orthopedic surgeon on call 24/7. Healthcare isn't about appointments, it's about taking care of people, and that's their specialty. Visit Northwest Iowa Bone, Joint, and Sports surgeons on the web at nwiabone.com.
We've got more Sports Club members making this broadcast possible on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
TAFE Wellness Center in Algona and Armstrong, keeping athletes in the game with chiropractic care. Take charge of your health.
Lichter's Garage Door Service and new installations. A reputation you can trust. Call 515-295-5988.
Ed Service Station. Service you can trust.
J&J Custom Meats, continuing the traditions in Whittemore.
Ulrich Construction. Let them do the work.
Sports Club members bringing you this game.
4:43 left in the third quarter here on Home Country Radio and at the Algona Radio YouTube stream, and we still have an injury situation going on the field right now. Alexis Merlo went down for North Iowa, the junior, on that last play, and he's been down on the field ever since. They brought a medic onto the field, and they're bringing out a card for him to go out to the ambulance on as well. So obviously, you have the best thoughts for him. Hopefully his season isn't done and it's nothing too serious, but all thoughts go out to him here after that last play as he was going down after that last hit.
Sometimes you never know until you get to the hospital and get the necessary treatment to find out what really happened, but no one ever wants to take a risk. Very wise. Just make sure nothing is done out of place. And he came up and made the initial tackle, and then there was just kind of 3 guys on the field, and 2 of them got up, and he stayed down and started holding his leg. So hopefully nothing too serious here as they bring the medics on and take a closer look. They've got his pads off, but as you should, not in a hurry to move that young man. Now, all the Bears are taking a knee over on the far side, also praying for his well-being, and now the Bison players taking a knee as well. We're going to take a little break here, folks, while we attend this young athlete.
So they will get him off the field here with 4:43 left in the third quarter. Again, 43-0 the score in favor of Bishop Garrigan. But kind of getting back to the game here while they do that, you know, the Golden Bears, they've really tried to develop that power run game and that depth in the running back room. And Beanie, we've kind of seen that all throughout the night. You know, we started off seeing a lot of Trayton Sink, a lot of Ethan Marceau in the run game for Bishop Garrigan. But we've kind of seen Andrew Lichter take a bigger role, Kyle Borman tonight. And, you know, Matt Besh, a guy we hadn't seen get carries in the first couple of games, he's kind of brought that in. And, you know, we talk about depth at every position for the Golden Bears. I think one of the positions you say, who's the next guy up is fullback, but I think we're kind of seeing that tonight. You know, Matt Besh has really played an Ethan Marceau type of second half.
Matt Besh is got all the athletic tools that you need to be a great player. All he needs to do is get that experience. You know, he does there's so many fine points to playing football. Do your knees go down when you're making a tackle? Do you move is your footwork good? If you're a running back, do you read the blockers well? Like, it's not just hey, are you good? Get in the game. Like, with this program, there's so many things the coaches are looking for guys to do. And boy, Tyler, you nailed it. Talk about a stable of running backs. Like, and you see these guys really pushing each other. And once everybody starts doing something well, it's really easy for the next guy up to start copying that and be like, oh, I see how he does it. Oh, all right, that's how I do it. And then that's what builds these programs, and it's just kind of a pay-it-forward situation with the Bears. And so far, so good this season. They are really, really rooting each other, and they're pulling everybody forward.
Well, Beanie, when you talk to coaches before the season, no coach ever says, yeah, our offseason program is going really poorly right now.
Right.
You know, we were having low turnout in the weight room. But when you talk to Coach Wanley before the season, you know, one thing I did hear him say is, like, we have so many guys who can play running back and guys who could vie for carries this year. And, you know, you're waiting to see it in the season. You're saying, well, who are those guys? Well, we've kind of seen it on full display for the first 3 games, and part of that is just the nature of the way Garrigan's played so far. All 3 games, including tonight, have kind of gotten out of hand at some point. So you really do get to give those guys a chance at the varsity level. And, you know, this is kind of the proving ground for a guy like Kyle Borman, who we've kind of seen work his way into that rotation.
Yeah, and you know, he wants it bad. And you know, we've got freshmen now that want it bad. I'm the parent of a freshman who I didn't think would go out for football, but then he caught the magic, and he wanted to get a piece of that. And so now they've got freshmen going out that they didn't necessarily expect. And like we've talked many times before, the numbers at Bishop Garrigan are great. So many, so Tyler, that and they're showing up for the weight room. It's optional, it's voluntary, that they've had to have workouts in shifts. How about these freshmen, sophomores coming on this time, and the other guys do another time? And we'll talk about buying into the program and really wanting to learn the game of football.
Well, we're still dealing with the injured player down on the field right now. Again, Merlot being tended to by the medical staff that's come in from the ambulance parked out to the right side of the field. So they're going to continue to tend to him here at the field as we're at the 4:43 mark of the 3rd quarter. We're going to step aside for another timeout and come back after these messages on at KLGZ and at the Algona Radio YouTube stream.
Thank you to these Sports Club members bringing you this game on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
The Wrenchman Truck and Trailer Repair, full-service repair shop in West Bend.
Tango Salon for all your cuts, colors, hair extensions, and massage therapy needs.
Algona Chiropractic Clinic, it's your future. Let's make it healthy together.
Feed Mill Coffee Company, Algona's locally owned coffee shop.
Good Samaritan Society, Algona's senior housing and services rooted in God's love.
Schindler Lawn Care and Landscaping, 515-320-3840.
All bringing you this ball game. For over 40 years, Northwest Iowa Bone, Joint, and Sports Surgeons have maintained one mission: to provide excellence in orthopedic care. Their team of 9 physicians offers specialized care in everything from arthroscopic same-day surgery to joint replacement, as well as hand and foot surgery, and have an orthopedic surgeon on call 24/7. Healthcare isn't about appointments, it's about taking care of people, and that's their specialty. Visit Northwest Iowa Bone, Joint, and Sports Surgeons on the web at nwiabone.com.
Thank you to these Sports Club members bringing you this game on Hometown Home Country Radio.
CB Grain Solutions, satisfaction guaranteed.
Dump It, Kasuth County's local and reliable waste service provider for commercial and residential customers.
Albert Electric, flip the switch to Albert Electric.
Billy Offerman, your State Farm agent in Algona. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Greg Penning and Company, certified public accountants where everyone counts.
Daylight Donuts, open early with delicious donuts and great coffee.
All bringing you this game on the radio.
High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio, brought to you by these fine Sports Club members.
Signworks Inc. For all your signage needs and printed apparel, stop in or call 295-9544.
New Way K&H Co-op, delivering exceptional value through knowledge and innovation.
West Bend Ford, meeting your service, new and used vehicle needs.
Tom Eischen Sales, your store in the country, carrying Steel and Toro products and Green Mountain pellet grills.
PMC Advantage Insurance Services, insuring our neighbors for over 80 years.
All sponsors of this game broadcast.
Where you bank matters. Hi, I'm Sherry Bacon at Security State Bank, and we're relationship bankers. We get to know our customers and understand their financial needs. We're locally owned and operated, which means family, community, and service always comes first. So come to Security State Bank. We'll treat you like family. Security State Bank in Algona, Burt, and Laverne. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Security State Bank.
High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio, brought to you by these fine sports club members.
Central Financial Group, where you belong.
Down to Earth Tree Service, your local Algona tree service.
Styles Salon, your salon in Algona. Create yourself.
Farm and Home Services. View their listings at farmhomeservices.com.
Holmes Animal Clinic, animals large and small. They love them all.
Dance Connection and Tumbling by Michelle. Passionate about teaching, creative about dance. Visit their studio or danceconnectionbymichelle.com.
All bringing you this ball game.
.443 left in the third quarter here on Home Country Radio KLGZ. The injured North Iowa Bison, Alexis Merlo, has been put into an air cast on his right leg and loaded onto a stretcher. And right now the whole North Iowa team has come off the bench, and they are giving their teammate their best wishes on the field right now. So I think from our standpoint, we can only wish the best of wishes and the quickest of recoveries to Merlo, as he's going to leave this game here tonight for that air cast on the right leg. But Beanie, this is part of the game of football. Unfortunately, you know, we see, of course, Nick Lear on the sidelines for Garrigan in crutches with a minor ankle injury out for tonight's game. But, you know, anytime you take the field, you know something like this might happen, and you know that's part of the thing that makes high school football so exciting, but also so scary in a time like this.
Yeah, it's just the worst watching kids get hurt. But I mean, we see it in all the sports that we cover, Tyler, from baseball, basketball, volleyball. We've even seen cheerleaders get hurt when they're doing their stunts. You know, it's just something about high school extracurricular athletics. Injuries happen, and it's never fun to see that. And but big round of applause now as the good crew of paramedics here took their time, got the cast on. Executed a nice lift. I've had to do those in training. They got around, did a nice lift of him, and they got the stretcher underneath, and now he's on the track, and they're going to take him out to the hospital, I'm sure, and start doing those x-rays on that right leg of his, and let's hope that it's nothing too serious. The young man is coach did a good job getting his shoulder pads off right away. Speaking from experience, when you get hurt, it's the worst having that helmet and shoulder pads on, but you can't move very well, and it's just stifling in there. And get those things off and gets a little more comfortable as he deals with that pain in his right leg.
Well, hopefully it's a quick recovery process, but he knows he has his whole team by his side throughout that whole process, as the whole Bison team kind of came out, tapped him on the shoulder, and told him they're with him here as we kind of start to wind down this third quarter. So at this point, we have had a little bit of a break here, so both teams are going to try to stretch it out a little bit, get re-warmed up. And I don't want to say it's like another halftime, obviously, because it's more serious than that, but this has been a break of probably about 10 minutes, Beanie, so there's a kind of a re-warming up process. We see C.J. McGregor taking a few warm-up tosses and some high knees from the players as well.
Right, C.J. McGregor taking some snaps. Looks like he's going to be quarterbacking the rest of the way. The freshman quarterback throwing to a senior, Thad Kolash. And a round of applause from the Bison crowd, trying to encourage their team to get out there and keep playing some football. You know, win, lose, or draw every week. It's fun for these guys to get to play this extracurricular activity. Otherwise, they wouldn't go out for football. And, yeah, you know, it doesn't matter how your team is in football. You always got to look back and hopefully enjoy those times, as we're going to get right back to it. Here we go.
Well, there's no great way to transition coming out of a time like that, but Bishop Garrigan will resume it with the ball at the 15-yard line. They throw it out to the right to Kolash. Kolash blows a tire load. He falls down. Loss of 1 yard as Kramersmeyer jumped on his back just to be sure.
Yeah, boy, he was just planting his right foot, going to try to turn on the Jets, and it slipped. Kramersmeyer had 215 of his pounds falling on the, I'm going to guess Thad weighs about 155. And, boy, I hope we can see Thad get the ball again. But that's his first catch, I believe, of the season. Senior Thad Kolash getting in the books with a reception.
And McGregor continuing to play quarterback for Bishop Garrigan. Golden Bears have called off the dog, so to speak, and given some guys a chance to get into the action. Mice is the receiver to the right side of the field. Underneath center, McGregor had a little trouble securing the snap, but got it off to Borman. Borman left side. Borman gets upended inside the 10-yard line. Little burst there at the end as he gets his way forward for about 7 yards.
Yeah, he took a big hit. His ankles got clipped, and, boy, he took a big hit from Cale Lorenzen, hit him up top and sent him backwards as the big hits continue here. You know, Besh is back in the game, continue running back. It's always hard when you are in on a play where someone gets hurt. You have to shake that off as well. And so Besh is back there alongside McGregor.
C.J. McGregor takes the snap, reads, gives to Besh. Besh runs left side, runs over a defender, and he's got the first down. Besh down to the 4-yard line, and once again, just lowering the boom and getting forward.
He did good hard running, but, you know, you could see him changing his style a little bit after it was in on that play where there was an injury. He seemed to not lower the boom as hard as he did before, as he does pick up the first down. play being run in here by Thad Kolash, Kyle Borman at running back, Carson Kramer, the left guard, Nate Lear snapping the ball, Scott Borman, the right guard, and Drew Muller, the tight end.
Bishop Garrigan in the red power red zone. They're at the 4. It's a throw out to left to Kolash. Kolash searching for the end zone. Breaks a tackle, stumbles forward, and they say touchdown.
Oh, yeah.
Thad Kolash kept his feet long enough and kept that momentum going for the 4-yard score.
Reached out that ball and crossed the pylon, and he's sprinting over the sideline. He's pretty pumped. Gets a big high five from Keaton Helliseth, his fellow senior, as he exits the field. And the PAT team will come on here. Daniel Mice coming in.
Well, you see the same plays executed between the starters and the backups of Curse. Furch threw a quick hitter out to the right to Joyce when he was still in the game. That went for a 27-yard touchdown. This play a lot closer to the goal line, but again, just a pitch and catch, long handoff to your wide receiver and let him break a tackle after the catch is made.
Kolash did a really good job doing just that. Broke a tackle.
As Borman stutter steps on the extra point, he kicks it, and it went through. Oh, my goodness. One of the North Iowa players, I believe that was
Kevin Hagan. He ran past the kick. Borman stopped and almost kind of pump faked him. And it was like a reverse Charlie Brown pulling the football away, and Borman kicks it through for the PAT.
I don't know that I've ever seen that. Hagan ran past, they waited for him to run through, and then they kicked it. I don't think I've ever seen that. There's always something fun on Friday night, Tyler.
Whenever you're a kicker and you stop your momentum, that is pretty much a death sentence to the field goal. It's pretty much just the holder's got to pick it up and run it in and try to score. But I don't think I've ever seen that. Hagan ran past the kicker. He got there too quickly to block the field goal. He was there too soon.
And he's been in there all night. That's something the Bears are going to look at. How's Hagan getting in there every time? He's been putting some pressure on that kick. All right.
In any case, 50-0 Bishop Garrigan of 2:41 left in the third.
Now I'll say the starting kick cover team is coming in here with a few substitutes. Amari Thomas going to come in there. It's his first year out for football here. Looks like Scott Borman is going to do the kicking, who just kicked that PAT. He'll do the kickoff. We've got number 16 is Dalton Cleanse. I haven't learned that number yet. Dalton Cleanse is in there on this kickoff team. Titan Troyer is there. Dan Mice in there, the senior.
Kicks it away from the 30-yard line, spiraling towards the far side of the field as Hagan takes it at the 15, trying to get downhill, stutters, and breaks a tackle as he steps out of bounds along the Garrigan sideline, far side of the field. He got past the 25-yard line as North Iowa takes over.
And our favorite special teams ace so far this season pushes him out of bounds. Isaac DeLange, always making his presence known on special teams.
It would not be Friday Night Football if Isaac DeLange didn't at least have a special teams tackle or two.
One of those guys with a nose for the ball.
Well, North Iowa trying to get a drive started here. Max Wilkerson, their quarterback, as he stands alone in the backfield. Hagan's out towards the right side. A couple of tight ends on one side of the line of scrimmage as Wilkerson runs right. He gets popped by McGregor, and then Miller cleans him up top. Good gang tackling by the Golden Bears for no gain.
That's DeLange in there on the tackle as well. He stayed in as middle linebacker, read that play well, and filled the gap. Miller's going to come out now. He is just a sophomore, Madden Miller, but is on the starting lineup here. DeLange, the senior middle linebacker. Titan Troyer, right side or left side linebacker, as well as C.J. McGregor.
Baller playing on the other end for the Golden Bears. This time it's Jacobson in the gun. Jacobson came in today with 95 yards rushing, but he has been bottled up. He's back to throw. He's backpedaling. Here comes Mahler. Here comes McGregor. He's got him by the jersey. He's wrapped up, and he's brought down. DeLange came in there to help out as well. We'll say half a sack for both McGregor and DeLange. And Golden Bears have yet another Hy-Vee sack as the trend continues.
DeLange, another one of those ornery players. He was trying to rip that ball out. He had ideas of scoring that ball.
Well, North Iowa will back up inside of their own 20 now. It is third and a mile with 1:05 left in the third quarter.
Nick Toole, another senior that is paid his dues and then some, and getting some minutes in there. He's at the left end, putting pressure on that QB. And Carson Kramer, nose guard.
Here is Wilkerson taking the snap, standing tall in the pocket. He's going to gun it deep down the right side, looking for Hagan. Hagan gets tripped up, but it's incomplete. He and Kolash got tangled up. Was that inadvertent? There is no flag on the field, and they're just going to say that was an inadvertent tangling that time as the pass is incomplete.
Good ball thrown there, but like you said, the tangle up of Kolash and the receiver run it moot. And now they're going to kick the ball away, and who's going to return this kick? It looks like Titan Troyer is back to receive for the Bears.
I'll say this for North Iowa. We can see the tools for Max Wilkerson. You can tell he's got good speed. He has elusiveness to make tacklers miss, and he's got a pretty good arm. We've seen that tonight as well, but It's just been a night where the protection hasn't held up as there's a spiraling kick. Another nice punt by Lorenzen. Fielded at the 25 by Troyer. Makes the first guy miss. He's across the 35. He's to the 40. Middle of the field, Troyer. Down the sideline. 25-20. 15. And he's finally knocked down to the 12-yard line. He is run out of bounds by Lorenzen, the punter, along the far side of the field. But Troyer got upfield and he broke a big one.
Good vision by Troyer. He made a couple nice moves to get free, and then he saw the field was open to the right, and he turned on the Jets. Big cheer by the student section here at the Buffalo Center. We're happy to see that punter make the tackle. You could see it developing, and everyone was saying who was going to win that foot race, Troyer or the punter. Always fun when that punter makes a tackle.
Well, the third quarter is over. It's 50-0 Bishop Garrigan heading to the fourth on KLGZ Home Country Radio.
High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio, brought to you by these fine sports club members.
AK's Chrome Kitchen. When you come in, your family.
Farmers State Bank is proud to be part of our community. Offices in Algona, Whittemore, and West Bend.
Stroman Dental, giving you something to smile about.
Bill's Auto and Truck Repair. Service is the difference.
Trend Salon, your complete family hair salon. It's all about you.
Oakcrest Funeral Services, celebrating a life lived.
All bringing you this game on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
Bishop Garrigan 50 at North Iowa nothing as we head to the fourth quarter on KLGZ Home Country Radio. Big punt return by Troyer moves Bishop Garrigan into the Red Power Red Zone, your local Red Power team in Bancroft, Corwith, West Bend, and Humboldt. Well, being this Golden Bear team has so many players, even on the backups that we've seen rotate in and out for the first 3 games. It seems like we're seeing new guys take roles tonight. You know, each night a new starter kind of stands out. Of course, you've got our Erpelding and Voigt player of the game at the end of the game, but even in garbage time, it seems like a new backup is standing out for Bishop Garrigan each game as well.
Yeah, they don't lose a lot when they bring in their reserves. And now this is going to be what I'm going to call their third team offense into the game. Got Weston Rosemeyer is in the game. His brother's the senior. He's on that starting rank. So now we've got the little brother coming in for the big brother. And we've got a lot of new faces out there. The lineman Sawyer Herrick, left guard.
McGregor takes the handoff. He gives to Troyer. Troyer picking his way for the middle, and he's upended by Lorenzen. A busy man from a tackling standpoint, and it's a 2-yard pickup by Troyer.
Carson Kramer's in there along with Sawyer Herrick on the line and Scott Borman, the senior. They're going to do the main blocking here. McGregor's still the quarterback. Rosemeyer the tight end. Besh running the fullback, and Troyer the tailback.
Second down and 9 from the 11-yard line. 11:37 left in this game as Bishop Garrigan leads 50-0.
And we've got Lucas Bohanic is in here at the split end. He's near side
Here's
right.
The snap to McGregor. He pitches left side to Troyer. Troyer trying to find the edge. He gets hit and he gets driven to the sideline. Nice job closing the gap by Max Wilkerson, and Troyer held to a couple of yards.
Wilkerson continues to play great tonight for the Bison. Besh made a great initial block and took out the first tackler, but Wilkerson there to bring down the ball carrier. Bison continue to play hard, and that's a great sign, Tyler. They've lost one of their teammates to injury. They're down 50-0. They've had a really tough start to the season, playing some really good teams, but they're still out there running and hitting.
3rd and 5 from the 7-yard line as McGregor's under center. McGregor takes the snap. He gives it to the fullback, Besh. Besh on the quick hitter. Stiff arms a man, and he's in for a touchdown. Matt Besh is someone who hits the weight room hard, Beanie, and we saw it right there.
He does. He's running out on the open prairie here in North Iowa, and boy, he's having quite the game tonight, the young Besh. Just getting in shape for swimming season.
Well, Besh makes it 56-0 Bishop Garrigan, and now to tag on the PAT, it's going to be Borman. Mice the holder for the Golden Bears, as they've even rotated in their backup kicker tonight, giving everyone a chance as Galligan was kicking early. Now it's Borman. So Mice to hold. Snap is good. Mice puts it down. Borman approaches him straight on. Line drives it off to the right, though, and it's no good as the score will stay 56-0. Well, before that touchdown, I was going to make a point. You mentioned earlier Max Wilkerson kind of all over the field, both offense and defense, and it's really a shame for North Iowa that he's a senior. I would love to see this young North Iowa team with 1 or 2 more years of development with Wilkerson leading the way, because you just see the athleticism, but tonight he just didn't have a chance because the defense is just teeing off on him from a quarterback position, and obviously he's made a lot of tackles tonight, which is great, but you'd love to see him with just a little more of that young sophomore talent, maybe maturing for a couple of years and being around him, but that's how it works in high school football sometimes.
Sure.
The timing just doesn't work out.
For sure, and that happens to lots of young athletes. You go to school, and the school that you're passionate about and the school that you live close to, and sometimes super athletes get lost in a team that is just having down years. And on the flip side, you know, you can be on the Garrigan team, who's having a really successful run here the last couple of years, and you might not be the best player in the world, but you can learn your role and get to be on a great team. So it works both ways, but I totally agree, Tyler. You always want to see the best for all these young people. This is high school. It's an extracurricular activity, and here goes Borman.
Borman's going to kick it away, end over end down the field. Tracing it back is Wilkerson as he fields at the 5, returns middle to the 10, 15. He gets hit hard. He still drives forward, though, and gets out to the 20. I've got to give the Garrigan student section credit tonight. A few of them came out here tonight all the way to Buffalo Center, about a 45-minute drive as they're wearing neon colors, the Golden Bear fans are. And, of course, beginning the cheerleaders do jumping jacks after every touchdown for the Golden Bears. And some of the students have started doing the jumping jacks with the cheerleaders as well.
Well, that is good to see. I'm always a fan of extra PE classes during football games. Yeah, get those kids in shape.
Well, speaking of student sections, North Iowa's gone with the Minion theme tonight. I see a lot of Minion costumes. Some people have painted their faces yellow. That's a creative theme. You got to give North Iowa a few props for that as well.
And good for them. You know, like, it's fun to see these student sections on both sides coming out on Friday night. Great activity to take part in. Plenty of other stuff that's not as savory that they could be doing.
Jacobson, trouble on the handoff. He picks it up, and he's knocked down in the backfield.
Carson Kramer
with the Hy-Vee sack. We'll call it that. They tried to give the handoff to the man coming around, Hagan, on that jet motion, but it was not a clean exchange. The quarterback, Jacobson, had to pick it up and just had to eat the ball.
Aiden Dieterine in there making sure nothing extra is happening. He's playing linebacker now. We've also got Dalton Clens. He's playing defensive back. Charlie McGregor, CJ, is the other linebacker. Everyone's got to get a piece of the action tonight. Nick Toole, the senior, playing right defensive end. Amari Thomas, junior, playing left defensive end.
Well, if my count is correct, North Iowa has been held to just 2 first downs by this stingy Garrigan defense tonight. As back to throw, firing left side, Wilkerson, and has the completion. Hoffman driving his way forward and dragging a man out near the first down sticks. Finally jumping on his back and making the tackle for Bishop Garrigan was McGregor, that being C.J. McGregor, but that'll make it 3rd down and very manageable here, about 3 to go.
Great patterns run by the North Iowa receivers. First receiver went deep. Dalton Clens had to go along with him. That let that receiver get open in the flat. McGregor had to cover him from his linebacker spot. And on the money throw by the quarterback.
56-0 Bishop Garrigan right now on your Greg Penning and Company scoreboard. North Iowa has 2 receivers out to the right, bunched closely together with Hoffman as well as Hagan. Back to throw this time is Jacobson, feeling the pressure. He steps up and he evades Toole. He weaves towards the near side of the field. He turns it up and he has the first down. Ridden out of bounds by C.J. McGregor, but elusive running from the quarterback position by Jacobson that time.
Very impressive run by Jacobson in the open field. Nicely done. Good takedown by McGregor, the wrestler, and taking him down out of bounds.
8:13 and taking left in the quarter here as Bishop Garrigan leads 56-0 in the 4th. Golden Bears next week are going to be on the road once again at Northwood Kensett. North Iowa going to be facing Rockford next week in more district action. As it'll be 1st down and 10. Bison approaching midfield offensively here as we take under 8 minutes left. Hagan out wide to the right. In the slot to the right side is Hoffman. And getting up underneath center this time is Hoffman. As Golden Bears jumped offside, Wilkerson that is, and Wilkerson gone with the hard count for a 5-yard penalty.
Well, good idea by the Bison. You know, all these young kids are in there. They're trying to do their best and have their ears pinned back. And as soon as that ball, and he just says, hey, let's go on 2, and he draws the Bears offsides. Crafty play. Oh, I've never thought about this, Tyler. So the injured player leaves in an ambulance. Another ambulance arrives. That's great service here.
They've got to be prepared as Wilkerson's back to throw, taking a deep shot down the right sideline. Hagan makes the grab as the defender fell down, and he's going in for the touchdown. 41 yards for North Iowa. The Garrigan defender fell down on that play as Carson Seidels was trying to cover him, but he blew a tire at the 10-yard line, and Hagan hits the big play.
Yeah, Carson was running step for step with the receiver. Good coverage, and then feet got tangled up between the players, and Seidels goes down, and the receiver gets open and gives something for the Bison crowd to cheer about. They've got a score on the board on a nice long pass by a quarterback.
Max Wilkerson, 3rd passing touchdown of the season, as it'll be Lorenzen to tack on the extra point. How about this? A couple of 8-player teams with good kickers as Lorenzen boots it end over end, and that one is through the uprights and good, making it 56-7. Beanie, I was watching Lorenzen attempt field goals during warm-ups, and he was all the way out at 40 yards attempting field goals, and he didn't hit any of the 40-yarders, but he got the crossbar on a 40-yard attempt, so he's got a kind of a big leg for North Iowa, and obviously not a whole lot of scoring tonight for the Bison to see it, but you know, when you see all these 8-player teams, a lot of them just go for 2 because they just don't have a kicker, but right. Garrigan has a couple kickers as we've seen, and North Iowa with a kicker tonight, so not a bad special teams game.
No, when it rains, it pours. Garrigan for years has often not had anyone that can kick that ball because, boy, we watch too much TV. It looks so easy when those guys are doing it. But if you ever have a chance, you listeners, just get one of these. These footballs are giant, too. They're not the ones you buy at the department store. These are approved footballs. They're big, they're hard to throw, and they're very hard to kick. So it's tough. So if you can find a kicker, that's pretty impressive.
Speaking of kickers, Beanie, have you heard about the latest Big Ten scandal in football?
No. Please alert.
This is a hard-hitting news story,
Are we breaking
folks.
news?
It's not breaking news. It happened already. If you've read it online, you might already know what happened. But, this was a scandalous happening at a Purdue game at halftime, and we'll tell you about it after this kickoff by Lorenzen.
Now I'm curious. I'm wide awake now.
Well, Lorenzen kicking it away with 7:28 on the clock. A 56-7 Garrigan lead. He'll kick it end over end. It's a little bit short, and it is fielded by Dalton Clenz at the 10-yard line. He takes it left to the 20. Clenz to the 25. Down the sideline. He got past the 30, out to the 34-yard line. Well, here we go, Beanie. So basically, Purdue partnered with a car dealership in West Lafayette at halftime, and they do this promotion.
Okay.
A fan comes onto the field, and he tries to kick a 20-yard field goal, a 30-yard field goal, and a 40-yard field goal, and do it within 30 seconds. So you get as many attempts as you want. Like, if you miss the 20-yarder, you can keep trying to kick it, but you got to do it in under 30 seconds. And if you make all three, you get a 2-year lease on a car from this specific dealership in West Lafayette.
I'll take that.
Well, what happened if this kicker was this fan they picked from the crowd, just not even a football player, to do this promotion as McGregor goes under center of 6:48 on the clock. McGregor takes the snap. He pitches near side to Clenz. Clenz, with a little traffic, trying to be patient. He's picking his way through, and he's knocked down to the line of scrimmage. Well, the guy made the 20-yard field goal. He made the 30-yard field goal.
Wow, in 30 seconds.
Yes, and he tries to kick the 40-yard field goal to win the car, and he gets the kickoff right as the 30 seconds hits. It goes through the upright. The PA announcer tells him that he wins the 2-year lease of the car. The crowd goes crazy, but days later, the dealership looks at the footage, and they tell him, well, that kick actually was 0.05 of a second after the clock hit 30 seconds, so we're not giving you the car.
Oh, no. Ouch. I guess there are rules in this world.
Yes, but, however, it has a happy ending as McGregor's in the shotgun. 6:06 on the clock, fakes the best. He'll keep it himself. McGregor weaving outside, breaks the tackle, dropped the ball at the 40, picked up by Clenz, lost it again, though, and this time North Iowa recovers. Garrigan turns it over as the Bison force the turnover, and it's Hagan on top of it.
A little fumble Ruski there, just kind of slipped out of him. Yeah, good pickup by Kevin Hagan. He's watches the pros. He was going to pick it up and run. He said, no one touched me, but he was on the ground.
Well, to wrap up this long winding story, so the dealership is going to deny this college student the 2-year, free lease on the car, but all kinds of pressure came. The fans obviously rebelled. They said, you know what, you're breaking down the video and saying 0.05 of a second. Come on, give this kid the car. So eventually, other businesses offered him stuff, like other car dealerships offered him cars. A burger place gave him a year's supply of free burgers, and eventually the car dealership relented and gave him $5,000. So happy ending for everyone.
I can't believe he made those kicks. That's impressive.
Here's the keeper by the quarterback, Wilkerson, and he got popped. McGregor lit him up as the ball came out, but they say he was down. So all that just to talk about the good special teams tonight and the fact that both these teams had pretty good kickers.
We've got kickers, folks, here in North Iowa. Everybody's got them. We've had some confusion on the North Iowa getting that offense on the field, but they finally scrambled on and got a pretty good playoff there. They are still fighting tooth and nail. They just scored. They're trying to put another one on the board, but this Bear backup defense is still very stout. You got Amari Thomas, Carson Kramer, Weston Rosemeyer on that sideline, and still very good young linebackers.
In the shotgun, it's Wilkerson. He will fake the handoff to Jacobson. He's going to throw over the middle of the field. He's got a man, and he overshot him. Braden Gray couldn't make the catch, and looked like Gray could have got the arms extended a little further that time, but maybe he jumped a bit too soon after that ball as it falls incomplete.
Jumped a little soon. Boy, a great pass by Wilkerson, just a little high. That's another thing about those equipments. You know, if he didn't have his shoulder pads on, he would have caught that. But those shoulder pads don't let you extend those arms directly above your head. And that ball was a little bit high. Dalton Clenz there, step for step in coverage, just a little bit behind him. As the Bears watch that clock tick below 4 minutes, up 56-7.
Wilkerson just gutting it out tonight. It is not fun to play quarterback when you're at the receiving end of a 56-7 blowout, but Wilkerson is just standing in there and taking the hits tonight and really delivering some pretty good balls. He is going to keep it on the option. He tries to pitch it, and the ball's picked up by Troyer. Troyer has it for Garrigan, and he takes it down to the 30-yard line. They were trying to run the pitch to the right, or a little read option there for the quarterback, and he tried to pitch it late. Ball got dislodged and landed in the lap of Troyer, who returned it to the 30.
When he tried to pitch it, that ball actually went forward like a shovel pass. Troyer Stroyer was right there. He might have had his knee down, but the refs didn't see it, and he's off to the races. He got 10 yards before he got ankle tackled. Good job by Titan Stroyer there, the freshman. And now the young offense comes back in. Matt Besh leading the charge, running back right behind C.J. McGregor. Wide receiver split left.
Cleanse a slot left for Bishop Garrigan. It's going to be a quick pass out to the left. Ball's caught by Bohonic. Bohonic in trouble in the backfield, trying to drive his way forward, but the Bison blue jersey swarm him for a 1-yard loss.
Bohonic, a junior there, makes a nice catch, gets his reception. He's been in a few plays tonight. Here comes Carson Seidels into the game, a good young player. He's growing like crazy. I didn't even recognize him when he came to school this year. He grew so much.
Levi Brandt will be the lineman if the hand in the dirt for North Iowa. Underneath center is McGregor. McGregor gives to Besh right for the middle. Here he comes. They tackle him low this time. That's a smart move as Besh still flips his way forward for about 4.5 yards.
I was going to say the same thing. Those guys on the sidelines, the guys on the field, they see Matt Besh running so hard, and they know he's not going to run around him. So you got to get low, and you take out their feet. No one can run much without their feet. And Braden Gray makes a nice tackle there, the sophomore tackling the other sophomore.
Just 2:13 left in the ball game as Bishop Garrigan leads 56-7. Heading out to the right side is Carson Seidels as the wide receiver. That's the wide side of the field. Cleanse is going over to the left, short side of the field. Besh is the running back behind the quarterback, C.J. McGregor. McGregor's going to run right. He fakes the pitch. He keeps it. He weaves past defenders. He breaks a tackle. He's past the 20. He's inside the Red Power red zone, and he has the first down at the 15.
Well, that looked like rugby right there. He faked the pitch like he was going to throw it back to the halfback. Instead, he keeps it, tucks it in, and goes upfield. He starts jiving around tacklers. Boy, that C.J. McGregor is a slippery running back. You know, you talk about these QBs we've seen tonight for Garrigan. I'll take C.J. McGregor and Tate Furch in the backfield. You can hand them the ball, and they both can run extremely well.
Well, let me ask you this, Beatty. I have not seen a lot of read options by Garrigan like that over the years. Do you run that with Tate Furch as the quarterback, or is that McGregor's special kind of play that you only do with him?
Well,
as Cleanse gets tripped up for a 1-yard gain.
You know, Marty Wadley loved in the 11-player game. He loved read options. He loved the midline read. He ran it a lot. And this 8-man game, he tried that out a little bit when the 8-man game started up, and then he gave up that midline read for this offense and hasn't looked back. But yeah, Tate Furch, he can read. He reads the option well. I think CJ does too.
55 seconds left as the Golden Bears have second down and 9 yards to go. And they're going to get into victory formation as McGregor takes a seat on the football. Golden Bears will have to do that one more time to officially secure this and secure a 3-0 start to the season. Golden Bears have played 8-man football 3+ years, this year being the 4th, and they've only started 3-0 once. That was the first year they played 8-player football. Obviously, Garrett Hine got injured after that, unfortunately, their quarterback at the time, and season kind of fell apart after that point, but it's going to be a 3-0 start for Bishop Garrigan, and taking care of business in the first road game as McGregor takes the final knee, and that's going to do it for tonight. 56-7 the final score. Bishop Garrigan 3-0 now as they defeat North Iowa. Bison fall to 0-3. Again, they've had to play 3 playoff teams in their first 3 games, and none tougher than the defending state champs. So an explosive offensive night for the Golden Bears. That defense once again does its job as well, giving up that late touchdown. But besides that, stifling performance by the Garrigan defense. A well-rounded ball game, 56-7 the final score. Right now we'll step aside for a quick timeout. We'll wrap it up for tonight's post-game coverage after this on KLGZ Home Country Radio.
For over 40 years, Northwest Iowa Bone, Joint, and Sports Surgeons have maintained one mission: to provide excellence in orthopedic care. Their team of 9 physicians offers specialized care in everything from arthroscopic same-day surgery to joint replacement, as well as hand and foot surgery, and have an orthopedic surgeon on call 24/7. Healthcare isn't about appointments, it's about taking care of people, and that's their specialty. Visit Northwest Iowa Bone, Joint, and Sports Surgeons on the web at nwiabone.com.
At Sudol Tax and Accounting, they're more than just number crunchers. They're your partners in financial success. Whether you're a small business owner or just need personal tax advice, their experienced team provides accurate, reliable, and personalized services tailored just for you. From tax preparation and bookkeeping to financial planning and consulting, Sudol Tax and Accounting has you covered. Call them today at 515-395-1040 or go online at sudoltax.com.
final score in Buffalo Center, Iowa. It's Bishop Garrigan 56 and North Iowa 7. The Golden Bears now defeated the Bison all 4 times they've played in the 8-player class, and the defending state champions have won their 15th game in a row dating back to last season. I'm Tyler Lance alongside Beanie Bodies. We'll break down tonight's ball game. Golden Bears coming out on top in this one. Early on, it was really a multitude of different players making plays. We saw a couple of rushing touchdowns in the first half by Trayton Sink, one from 3 yards out, one from 29 yards out. Golden Bears went to the air as well. Tate Furch hit a deep shot to Owen Murphy for that 33-yard touchdown. Did a little pitch and catch out to the right to Michael Joyce, who did all the running after the catch for a 27-yard score. And Andrew Lichter and Kyle Borman both scored before the end of the first half. Then, of course, in the second half, you saw the guys getting in on the action, like Thad Kolash catching a touchdown. Matt Besch scored one as well. And then Kevin Hagan had the lone North Iowa touchdown on a deep shot by the quarterback Max Wilkerson. But, Beanie, this was the prototypical spreading the wealth kind of game for Bishop Garrigan. They really did spread the ball around. And like we said multiple times, and like you correctly predicted in the pregame, Golden Bears are going to try a few new plays that maybe you didn't see in the first couple of weeks. They're going to try a few new schemes offensively and find a way to get it done tonight and see what works.
Yeah, they got aggressive early, and I was glad to see that. They have quite a deep playbook. You know, they've been building week after week after week. You know, you get 2 weeks before your first game pretty much. You can't put in all your offense then. You can see that they put in a lot of offense this week, and they worked on their passing game. We knew watching the pregame that they were working on throwing that ball. And, yeah, Tate Furch was just on the money with his passes. They opened up the playbook and put this thing out of reach right away in the first quarter. And then it was just a lot of fun watching these players, both for North Iowa, start to adjust and watch these backups for Bishop Garrigan and get some quality building each other's teams, even though it was a 56-7 blowout.
Well, Bishop Garrigan, as impressive as their offense was, I think the defense was even more impressive. And you can probably say that for the first 3 games. You know, early in the season, especially, too, offenses are still getting on track. Everyone trying to find their rhythm. And this Golden Bear defense, they're so disciplined. They punish any mistakes. And if you're not great up front, the Golden Bears will really make you pay. And that's what we saw tonight for North Iowa. They initially really tried to get that quarterback run game going. They have 2 quarterbacks they rotate in and out with Talon Jacobson and Max Wilkerson. Both are athletic guys. Both can run the football from the quarterback position. But Garrigan's defense does not really break, contain, and get outside. And, of course, nothing going up in the middle either, just of how stout that defensive line is and how the linebackers fill. So once that went away, they tried to throw the ball. And again, the pass rush was absolutely relentless tonight.
Oh, boy.
I don't even have the official sack total because Garrigan, they were probably approaching 9 or 10 sacks tonight. Everyone was teeing off on the quarterback.
Yes, and like if you're North Iowa, you put your best player there at quarterback because in the 8-man game, they can make so much happen with their legs and their arm, but you can't do that when you're getting sacked every play. And the Garrigan defensive line was just phenomenal tonight. They gave the quarterback no time, even without any blitzing all the time. It was just relentless pressure on the North Iowa quarterbacks.
So Bishop Garrigan wins this one 56-7. And final point I'll make, too, is you're always looking for the small improvements, the improvements on the margin if you're a team that wants to win a state title, which Bishop Garrigan is one. Because, you know, once you get to the playoffs, it could all hinge on one play. Garrigan played so many close games in last year's postseason run to the state championship. They had to rally from behind so many times in the second half. And you've got to find out what works. And that's why I'm going to point out special teams. A much, much better job of kick coverage tonight. Of course, Garrigan does a nice job kicking a couple of touchbacks. But when North Iowa did return, Garrigan had it much more contained tonight. You didn't see any big opposing punt or kick returns. And, of course, they also tried a really nice fake on the swinging gate play, got that 2-point conversion on that. We may see that later in the season as well. So, special teams-wise, pretty good game for Garrigan.
Oh, definitely, and definite improvement over game to game. You know, that's, of course, you have so few games to play. You never want to take a step backward. And there's going to be some mismatches here. Garrigan's a defending state champ. They got a lot of guys out for football this year. And, you know, you really have to stay focused and you have to improve despite a score like tonight being 56-7. You got to keep having good practices. These coaches do a great job staying after their players. The players are doing a good job both on the field and in the hallways. It's been good at school so far. These guys are getting it done so far, but we know it's a long season, Tyler, and then all of a sudden it's over. And you want to make sure when it's over that you did the best you can. And I really do think this Garrigan team has a tremendous potential to make a very deep playoff run, and like you said, hopefully get a chance to defend their state title, which I don't think anyone predicted that one last year till it happened. And in the very end, they weren't predicted to win until the very last moment when the trophy was handed to them. They still weren't expected to win. This year, they're coming in with some respect, and they have that ranking, and so now they got to protect that.
They have protected it so far this season with a 3-0 start. We have one final thing to do on the postgame show, and that is to award your player of the game, brought to you by Erpelding & Voigt.
Erpelding Voigt & Company CPAs has a simple philosophy about the way they approach their business. Put people before the numbers. Before they can help you plan for a better financial future, they must have a thorough understanding of where you've been and where you want to go. They listen, then ask the important questions to build long-lasting relationships with their clients. They promise to know you and help you. Erpelding Voigt & Company CPAs. They're more than just taxes.
Let's get to your player of the game, brought to you by Erpelding Voigt & Company CPAs. Every week we name a new Bishop Garrigan player the player of the game, and they'll get a certificate at the end of the season. Again, brought to you by Erpelding and Voigt. Beanie, the guy we're going to name tonight, he was knocking on the door the past couple of weeks. He's had 3 good games so far this season, but sometimes it's not the stats that matter, it's the impact you make on the game, and that's why we're choosing Keaton Hellsuff for tonight. Boy, what a night up front for the Bishop Garrigan Golden Bears. I believe I had Hellsuff down for 3 sacks defensively tonight. He was a big part of that Garrigan pass rush in spite of really not playing much of any football in the second half, and up front, Garrigan pretty much did what they wanted to do in the run game, and that's because you've got one of the best guards in the state, Keaton Hellsuff.
Yeah, you bet. Good job, Keaton. Congratulations on this Erpelding Voigt Player of the Game award. Well deserved. Like, the defensive line play by Keaton was fantastic right off the bat, but what really impressed me was his blocking from that guard position. He pulled from his right guard spot a few times and just absolutely demolished the defender for North Iowa, opening up huge holes early for Sink and Marceau to run through. And good testament to his ability. He is one of those seniors, and when you stand next to these football players, he's not bigger than Marceau. He's not bigger than many guys on the Garrigan team. But, boy, can he really pack a punch in that frame of his. He's real strong. He plays low. And you don't have to be the biggest guy on the team to really move someone else, and he knows how to do it.
It's funny you should say that, Beanie, because I was talking with Coach Wadley on the pregame show before tonight's game, and I was asking him about Keaton Hellsuff and the contributions he's made to Garrigan, and Coach Wadley said, you know what, he is a little bit undersized, maybe compared to some other guards in the state, but he has a non-stop motor, and that's why we can rely on him on both sides of the ball, and that's why he does what he does for Garrigan as a senior on that offensive line, really anchoring the unit.
Yes, it's kind of funny that he happens to get player of the game here after a great game, because he is an undersized lineman, and I think his cousin, Aiden Ulrich, is also, I would say, an undersized lineman for the Bulldogs. And I asked Keaton today in the hallway, I said, you know, if you had to play against your cousin one-on-one on the line, who wins? And he just kind of grins at me and just kept walking. He wasn't gonna say anything. Well played, Keaton.
Beanie always trying to stir up controversy, ladies and gents, but Keaton taking the high road. That's a smart man. Well, folks, I think that's all we have for tonight's game. One final thing I'll mention, over in Algona, the Bulldogs playing their home game tonight against ELC, their home opener. Right now, Algona leads 27-12 with a minute left to go in the third quarter. So that game, obviously not a running clock, so still a bit of time to go in that one. If you want to hear some Bulldog football action, you can tune in on 92.7 KLGA as Brian Wilson and Todd Van Otterloo have the call on that one. That'll be it for us tonight, though, in Buffalo Center, Iowa. For my partner, Beanie Bodie, I'm Tyler Lance signing off. This has been a sports production of Hometown Radio and Home Country Radio, as well as the Algona Radio YouTube stream. Your final score tonight, Bishop Garrigan 56 and North Iowa 7.